Bryson Powell. Benedictine getting set to kick off.
Cleveland Raiders, number 3, Marquand Braun, and number 26.
Looks like Ivan Shuren ready to put the ball in play for the Benedictine Bengals. And there's a kick deep. That's going to go into the end zone for an opening touchback. Harding's going to get first possession on their own 20-yard line.
So Harding's going to take the field here in 2020 with that offense. We've been here for a couple years, Tom. We've been talking about this senior class since they were sophomores. Everyone from Amari Burgess to Elijah Taylor to Elijah Smith all got a lot of playing time as in their sophomore seasons. We were looking forward to them progressing and maturing. This is their time. Unfortunately, it's during COVID, but they've got 6 games plus the playoffs. Looking forward to big things from this team.
Elijah Taylor in the shotgun, got a man in motion, and there's the pitch around the end. And number 23, Kurt Dorsey, trying to get around the end. He's going to go down for a loss of a few yards on that first play.
Something similar that we've seen from this Raider offense in the past. They like to run that jet sweep either to the right or left-hand side with a quick pitch from the quarterback. It's worked out in the past, something that they're not willing to get rid of. We'll see how they work with some of their offense from the past and some of the things that Coach Arnold and his coaching staff have worked into this 2020 season.
Turno up the middle, and there's not a original line of scrimmage. It's going to bring up third down at about 12 for the Raiders.
Yeah, a lot of these teams, up until we'd say a week ago, this whole season, and the idea of playing was all up in the air. I think a lot of coaches and players, when the Big Ten, as well as the Pac-10 canceled their seasons, I thought a lot of people, including myself, thought that a lot of the season was over. A lot of these guys, they just got to get their minds back in it and make sure they're focused on football right now. We got a season, we got to play it. Let's go.
Absolutely. 2 in the backfield alongside Taylor. Taylor drops back to pass. Unleashes down deep and just over the outstretched arms of the receiver out there. That's going to bring up a 4th down. Looking for Kurt Dorsey over there on the right side.
Yeah, not the way the Raiders want to start out on that offensive set. Went back to some of their bread and butter with that jet sweep. Didn't work out. Tried the middle, see if their offensive line could try to establish some dominance up front. Obviously got stuffed at the line. Went to Elijah Taylor, big year last year, passing yards. But like we saw last year, the defense came up big for him, and we'll see what we can do this year.
Elijah Taylor stays in the punt. Gets a nice bounce. That's going to roll out of bounds at the Benedictine 43-yard line, where they'll set up shop with 10:20 to play in the first quarter. Benedictine 10-2 on the past season. It looks like looking over their past scores, that's a pretty high-powered offense over there. That schedule looked like they put a lot of points on the board last year.
Yeah, Benedictine is right there, with the St. Ignatiuses, the Warren Hardings, the Cincinnati team. It's a storied program. I believe it's been since the early 2000s, maybe late 90s since we've played them. We're looking for a great first week matchup here.
Number 12, Ronnie Schultz, the quarterback, and there's a hit in the backfield for a loss.
Like Amari Perkins there on that stop, coming up to fill the hole. They tried that toss sweep to start out. Looks like Benedictine's going to jump into a hurry-up offense, see what kind of conditioning these Raiders have.
It looks like 22, Andre Rogers was on the carry, stopped in the backfield. Schultz steps back in the shotgun. He's got 2 receivers left. He's looking that way. He's under some pressure, trying to get out of the pocket. He's going to go down again at the line of scrimmage. Looks like number 22, Marco Paterno on that tackle. Brings up a 3rd and long for the Bengals.
Yeah, Benedictine's quarterback there, number 12, didn't look like he was really thinking much about the pass there. Looked like he was looking more to drop back and run. Raiders were ready for it, snuffed it out, brings up that 3rd and long. like the Raiders are coming out in that 4-3 defense. See if they send anybody to put some pressure on the quarterback.
Schultz steps back to pass, looking downfield. He's got a man open. It's tipped and almost picked off.
Number 12, Ronnie Schultz passes.
That's going to bring up 4th down and 10, and this Raider defense gets a 3 and out right off the bat. That's good news right there. Harding's going to get the ball right back.
Yeah, last year the Raiders played real well on that defensive side. When the offense was down, the defense was there to pick them up with some key stops and some key games, able to put them in the playoffs last year to prolong that season. Looking for some big things out of that defense, but also looking for a lot of big things out of that offense. With a lot of these kids that were sophomores 2 years ago getting a lot of playing time, now stepping up as seniors.
Amari Burgess stands back on the Raiders' 10-yard line, ready to field this punt. And it's a low kick. That's going to take a bounce. That's going to get down by Benedictine. Rolls inside the 15, about the 14. And the Raiders will get their second possession with 8:53 to go in the first quarter at their own 14-yard line.
So we'll see what happens. The defense did their job. Nice 3 and out, held them to a 3rd and 10. Offense is getting a second chance at this Benedictine defense right now. Saw a lot of big things last year out of Elijah Taylor. I believe Elijah Taylor right now is number 1 in passing yards, number 2 in touchdowns. So as Warren Harding has been known for their running game over these years, Elijah Taylor has proven that he can step up, he can put that ball in the air, he can make those specifically make those DBs get out of there, make those safeties stay deep, which could also help open up that running game depending on the situation of the game.
Taylor with Paterno lined up right behind him, and there's a handoff up the middle to Marco Paterno, and again that line is shut down. Several Bengals on him, pushing him back. No gain on the play. So both defensive lines so far stepping up to the challenge this evening.
Well, Tom, as we've seen in the last few years, these early games this year, it really is about the conditioning. We've seen a lot of guys go down to cramps because of the heat. We've got a pretty decent night tonight with the weather. We're roughly around 70, 75 degrees. Hopefully those cramps don't come in. But first game of the year, it's a test. Who's more conditioned? Who's ready to play?
Second down and 11 for the Raiders on their own 13-yard line. Dorsey once again in motion, and Dorsey again trying to get around the end. This time he eludes a tackle, and he's going to pick up a couple yards, gets out to about the 17-yard line.
Yeah, a couple of yards out there to the left-hand side. He was able to get around. Defensive end didn't do a good job at containing, but a little too much pressure up the middle there. Really need to tighten down the line early on here. The game is always one up front, whether it's the offense or the defensive line. Who's got it?
Brings up 3rd down and 7. Raiders 17-yard line. 2 backs in the backfield along with Elijah Taylor, 2 receivers right. Taylor's going to drop straight back. He's looking deep downfield, and that ball is tipped by number 1, Christopher Gales of the Bengals. Almost picked off. It's going to bring up 4th down, and the Raiders go 3 and out.
I think the Raiders were hoping to get a pass interference call out there on the right-hand side, but the refs felt that it was good coverage. One of the big keys that they're going to be missing this year is Ty Artis. Ty Artis last year, we were yelling his name all the time. You know, he became like a safety blanket for Taylor. Someone needs to step up and fill those shoes here in the 2020 season.
Ty Artis had an absolute highlight year last year. He just seemed to latch on to anything that was thrown anywhere in his zip code.
Mm-hmm.
Taylor stays in the punt. He's inside his own 5-yard lone snap, and a poor kick, but a good bounce gets it out to inside the 50, out to about the 46, down to almost the 45-yard line for Cleveland Benedictine. And that Raider defense is going to be called on once again to come out here and stop these Bengals.
Yeah, a lot of pressure came up the middle there on Taylor. Luckily to get that punt off. Punt returner didn't do his job to get up there and catch the ball. Got a nice roll out of it. Puts it on their side, Benedictine side of the 50. But something to watch as we go forward here. with having Taylor back there as your punter, that creates a double threat that the defense has got to be aware of, that he can pull that ball up and he can either run or he can hit a pass out there. So something that Steve Arnold's going to have in his arsenal there that can keep that defense on their heels.
Schultz under center for this first down play. Hands off to number 11. Looks like Gary Merrill, and he is hit for a loss.
Yeah, nice play by that front four up there. They were able to get him all bottled up there. You had at least nine hats on the ball there. That's what you want to see. Stop that play before he can get any momentum. It's like maybe an equipment timeout here for Benedictine, possibly.
Schultz under center again, second down and 10. Drops back to pass. He's under a lot of pressure. Gets up, scrambles for a few. Gets out to about the 49-yard line of Harding. He's going to bring up about a third down and 5.
Yeah, corners did their job there, covered them. Quarterback didn't have much of a chance other than tuck that and run.
Third down and 5. Schultz steps back into the shotgun. Sends Merrill in motion. Looking deep downfield. Well, nice coverage down there by that Raiders secondary.
I think that was Asante Rogers on the cover there. Had another opportunity at an interception. Raiders corners are out there flying around, making it difficult for the for the quarterback. Great coverage, going to force another fourth down for Benedictine to get this Raider offense back on the field.
Looks like number 33, Christian Cora, on to do the punting for Cleveland Benedictine. Once again, number 4, Amari Burgess steps back. Again, he's on his 10-yard line. And timeout Harding with 5:39 to play in the first quarter.
Yeah, coaches saw something they didn't like on that special teams play there. Raiders ready to receive the ball. Defense has done their job on both sides. Right now this is the first, generally speaking, teams have their first 10 to 15 plays already scripted out. Regardless of what happens in the game, we're running these 10 to 15 plays right off bat. And we've seen both of these defenses step up to the challenge. The question is going to be which offense is going to hit that big hitter. Is Hardy going to be able to use that speed to the outside to break something? Elijah Taylor's arm hit somebody down the sideline. But right now, both teams are kind of feeling each other out. I believe the governor canceled all of the preseason scrimmages, so they didn't get to see anybody outside themselves. I know we had some inter-squad scrimmages, but the first opportunity for both of these teams to be able to get somebody from with another jersey color on, big challenge for both of them.
Yeah, and you got to remember too, this was not the original opening matchup. We were supposed to play Cleveland Heights, and this game was switched, so neither of these teams had a full week to prepare for each other. So Burgess calls for the fair catch at about the 16-yard line, and Harding will take over once again, 1st and 10 at their own 16.
And just to piggyback on that, I mean, this is the difficulty of everything. I didn't get the call that we were doing the game until last night. And all I got to do is sit up here and talk about football. I feel for the coaches, the players, everything that they've went through. But at the end of the day, look, I want my kids, I want these kids, I want them to have the same quality of life that I had growing up. So to see these kids out on the field right here, specifically these seniors, cheerleaders, band members, and players, I'm so glad to see them out here and being able to have their senior year.
Taylor with a quick pass to the right. He's got a man open, and the ball's on the ground. And they're going to call that incomplete. Looking for number 23, Kurt Dorsey over there.
Yeah, it looks like fortunately for the Raiders, Dorsey wasn't able to get 1-2 steps in with a progressive move in order to call that a completed pass for the Raiders. But once again, Elijah Taylor has shown over these past couple years that he's got the ability for Steve Arnold for Coach Arnold to be able to put this team on his right arm. And he's showing it early, willing to stop back and make those passes. Just got to complete the pass.
Taylor with the handoff up the middle to Paterno, and once again, there is just nothing on these defensive lines. Both defensive lines are just stuffing the run right at their line of scrimmage. There's been probably single-digit offensive yardage total for both teams at this point. 3rd down and 8 coming up for the Raiders. Ball at their own 19-yard line.
Yeah, both teams want to start out this game by trying to control the line of scrimmage. And you see that through the heavy run game. You can't pass if you can't run. You need the blocking. But a lot of times you need that run to be able to set up the pass.
Paterno lines up to Taylor's left. Taylor in the shotgun. Taylor looking over here to the left. Scrambles. He's got to get rid of it to avoid the sack. Brings up a 4th down and 8 and another 3 and out. There is yet to be even a 1st down in this contest.
Yeah, thus far we're seeing a defensive struggle here. That left end, Darrell Bendingfield came off that left end almost untouched. Luckily for Taylor, he was able to just throw that ball away to avoid the turnover or to avoid the sack.
And Taylor, for the 3rd time tonight, stands on his own 5-yard line to punt. This time he gets off a little better kick. And again, another nice Raider bounce. All the way down inside the 40-yard line. Looks like they're going to spot that at the Benedictine 38. Schultz, quarterback for Cleveland Benedictine, once again leads his offense out onto the field. He steps up in the shotgun. Looks like Merrill right behind him. He's got 3 receivers down here to the right. Getting the play from the sideline.
Lined up in the pistol right now with his running back behind him. He's got 3 receivers.
And there's a handoff to Merrill. Merrill looking for room around the right end, and he finds none. Take it down for a loss.
Number 51, Kincaid Tyson.
So that was Kincaid Tyson. Got some penetration there. Able to get his hand on the jersey there, hold him up long enough for his teammates to come there and secure the tackle for a loss.
2nd down and 11. .345 and counting here in the 1st quarter. Schultz has his marching orders, getting ready to put this ball into play. Moves Merrill to his left. Schultz a quick pass out to the left. He's got number 1, Christopher Gales, over there. Picks up a few. Looks like a pick of about 5 or 6. Takes it out to the Benedictine 48-yard line. Brings down a 3rd and 5 for Cleveland Benedictine.
This is probably 3rd and the shortest yardage we've seen for either team. Schultz comes up to the line, sees if he can get a good look, get the coaches a good look at the defense, and you see he looks to the sideline for the play.
Third and 5. Schultz moves Merrill over, and there's another sweep around the right end. And again brought down for a loss. That was number 15, Marvin Conkle, trying to find some running room out there. And again, there is no running room to be had by anybody.
Yeah, Benedictine tried to take a sheet out of the Harding playbook there with a jet sweep right. Harding's defense, linebackers were able to get some penetration there. and make that stop for a 3-yard loss. Brings up 4th and 8 for Benedictine. Harding's offense ready to take the field again after this punt return.
Christian Cora set up the punt. Again, Amari Burgess this time sets up on his own 15. A high snap! That's over Cora's head! Trying to get rid of it. He gets the punt off, and it's short.
Let it go. Good bounce.
It gets a nice bounce, and Cora did a heck of a job to get that off. That snap sailed over his head. It could have been disaster for Benedictine. He still gets a decent punt off, gets it into Raider territory. Raiders going to get their best field position of the evening at their own 38-yard line.
Yeah, it looks like Harding must have had a punt return on there, not a punt block, because you didn't see much pressure. Even though the ball flew over his head, you still didn't see a lot of pressure. More than likely, Coach Arnold called a punt return on that, where a lot of those guys, instead of rushing that punter, they were dropping back in order to provide coverage for the kick returner. Unfortunately for Harding, didn't have a lot of pressure, weren't able to maximize that mistake, but great field position for this offense.
Harding out of the shadow of their own end zone for the first time this evening with 2:41 to play. And there's a little screen pass out to Burgess. Burgess makes a catch. He breaks one tackle, gets out to about the 45-yard line. And the most positive yards we've seen on first down out of the Raiders so far tonight. It's going to bring up a second down and about 4.
Yeah, as you see this start to progress, you're going to see them loosen up a little bit. They're going to start to get a little bit of better feeling about themselves. Realize this is the first time that either of these teams have actually faced competition from somebody other than their practice squad.
Taylor sets up in the shotgun. He's got Paterno to his right. And the handoff is to, actually that is not Paterno.
That's going to come back. Looks like we got a hold on
Bryson Powell, but yes, there's a flag in the backfield.
Looks like we got a hold on maybe the left tackle there. Saw that coming out. He got beat on the block. Saw that. You saw him reach out. It was an easy call for the official. He was standing right there. Unfortunately, one of the biggest penalties is holding, especially on first down. Especially on a 2nd and 4. You take that positive play of 6 yards and penalize yourself there 10 yards.
So the holding call against the Raiders is going to back them up to their 30-yard line. And it's going to bring up a 2nd down and 18.
Penalties are drive killers. You got a 2nd and 18 now. Coaches will tell you, that this is why the conditioning matters. This is you get out there and you start grabbing, you start reaching, your footwork's not there to get you out there. All of a sudden you start grabbing and reaching, you get a 10-yard penalty, and it can kill a drive.
Davion Burgess, Kurt Dorsey over there to the right. And there's a pass and almost complete. Good defensive play there by Benedictine. Looking for Dorsey over the middle.
That's going to bring up a 3rd and 18. Not the position that Raider offense wants to be in. That defense, they just pin their ears back. They know you're in a passing situation here. They're going to pin their ears back. They're going to send people, make you get that ball off quick, see if you make a mistake.
Looks like Bryson Powell remains in the backfield to the right of Elijah Taylor. Dorsey and Burgess up on top. Dom Foster down here on the bottom. Taylor's looking for Dom Foster down the sideline. He's got him. And Foster makes the grab! Ball's loose! And it's out of bounds! Raider football deep in Benedictine territory!
Dom Foster beat his man on the outside there. Elijah Taylor put the touch right on the pass, put it right there for him. Luckily for Foster, that ball rolled out of bounds. I'm not sure if we're going to get the kick forward. Let's see. Looks like they are going to give him that. They're going to give him the forward progress when he fumbled the ball out of bounds.
Ball rolls out of bounds at the 9-yard line. It's 1st and goal, Warren Harding. 1:12 to play in this first quarter. Big 3rd down and 18 pass. 3rd down and 18 pass from Taylor to Foster. Taylor with the handoff to Bryson Powell. Powell dances around. He can't get past the line of scrimmage. No gain on that play.
Yeah, still too much pressure coming up the middle. Raider line's got to lock that down. Raider line's got to decide within themselves. Look, this is what it is. This is football. This is man on man. It's football. Beat the man in front of you. It's very simple. Beat the man in front of you. Whoever does that the most is going to win the game. Right now, when it comes down to the run game, Benedictine is beating our offensive line. This is small blocking. This is going out and just hitting them man on man. I'm going to beat you. It's a decision that you make in your head to beat that man in front of you. Right now, either team cannot run the ball successfully. So as they get so pulled into that run game, that's why you see the one-on-ones on the outside, because they are focusing on that run game right now. With a quarterback like Elijah Taylor that has proven over the last few years that he can throw the ball, it looks like that advantage can go to the Raiders.
And that's going to bring us to the end of the first quarter. Still no score in the ball game, but the Raiders are knocking at the door. They'll have a second down and goal from the 10-yard line at the south end of the field.
Mollenkoff Stadium, let's meet our Warren G. Harding Raider football senior class of 2021.
Bill Vaughn Smith, 14, 6.
Damari Freeman, 10, wide receiver and safety.
Reggie Watson, 55, offensive line, defensive line.
Jabari Felton, 41, defensive line, tight end.
Antonio Burgess, 76, O-line, D-line.
Nathan McCann, 64, O-line, D-line.
Second down and goal at the 10-yard line as we open up the second quarter. Taylor back in the shotgun. He's got Bryson Powell right behind him.
Got it.
There's a rollout. He's got number 22, Paterno. Hits him. Paterno looks like he gets up to about the 5-yard line where the play's blown dead. Inside the 5 to about the 4. Third down and goal at the 4-yard line for the Harding Raiders.
Yeah, I like what they did there. Little fake to the running back, pull those linebackers in, get the safety's attention. And you got the running back out of the backfield on that bootleg there. One-on-one, I like to see the junior put his head down there, try to establish a few more yards, but you keep on putting your head down like that, show that defense that it's not going to be a fun day tackling you. That'll all pay off in the third and fourth quarter.
Marquand Brown out left. We have Dom Foster down here to the right. And there's a handoff to Powell up the middle. Powell is hit hard at the line of scrimmage once again, and again no gain. Fourth down and goal at the 4-yard line.
Yeah, Benedictine's obviously well aware of the lineage of running backs that have came through Harding. They're ready for that run, but that run can set up that pass later. You saw something there with that play action, being able to isolate that running back out there. It's just a matter of time before that running back can beat that linebacker one-on-one, and he's got open field in front of him.
Harding sets up for the field goal. Jake Doherty hits up and good. The freshman, Jake Doherty, connects on his first attempt as a Warren Harding Varsity Raider. And Harding takes a 3-0 lead with 10:33 to play in the half.
Yeah, we talked last year with the kicker that we had. You know, we're always looking for touchdowns, but we'd rather get 3 than 0. We had a great kicker last year. Doherty coming up this year as a freshman, being able to step into this role, put them up 3-0. Those 3 points play real big, as we've saw through the years. Those 3 points matter, and the extra points matter.
Oh,
you go down 7, you think you're going to tie the game up 7-7, and all of a sudden you find yourself down 7-6. All of a sudden making those coaches question if they want to go for 2 on the next score. They missed that. All of a sudden you're down more. So that the people always underestimate the importance of having a kicker that you can rely on. So hopefully Doherty can fill in for the shoes that we've had in previous seasons to make us real confident that when we got to line up for 3 or that extra point, we got points coming.
Yeah, and you've got a ball game that so far, you know, we're 14 minutes into this ball game, and it has been just an epic defensive struggle. So those 3 points, those could be huge down the line because neither team right now is moving the ball and neither team has shown any signs of it. Harding's connected on a couple passes, but there is no running game on either side to speak of. Doherty kicks his field at the 15-yard line. Return man for Benedictine. Brett gets it out to about the 29-yard line where he's brought down. That was number 22 for Benedictine. Rogers, I believe that was the ball carrier, bringing the ball back. Andre Rogers on the return, gets it out to the 30-yard line. 1st and 10, Benedictine.
We'll see how both these offenses and defenses do. Harding's offense was able to stay on the field for a little while, give this defense a break, but it also allowed for the offense of Benedictine to get a break there. So we'll see after this exchange of time how these two teams react.
Ronnie Schultz back out there, quarterback. He's got Merrill behind him. Merrill gets the handoff, looking for a little bit of room around that end. And this time Merrill gets a few yards out to the 35-yard line. It's going to bring up a 2nd down and 5 for Cleveland Benedictine.
It looks like they pulled the guard or tackle from the right-hand side there, gave him a lead block, was able to pick up that linebacker who came up. Running back was able to get around the side there for a gain of 5.
And Marion Perkins on that last tackle for the Raiders. This time Schultz is under center. Drops back to pass. Looking deep downfield, and again, another fine play. Looked like Marquand Brown almost comes up with the interception, but great coverage again by that Raider secondary.
Hey, these corners are working. That's the 3rd time right there. You've seen a tip pass by the corner, had the safety right there with the possibility of that tip drill interception.
Schultz looking for number 1, Christopher Gale on that 2nd down and 5 attempt. It's now 3rd down and 5. Schultz has his play, ready to roll now. He's got, again, Merrill. He moves Merrill up to his right. And again, looking over to the right and looking for Gale. Gale
didn't look like they were on the same page there. Quarterback was looking for that quick hitter. Gale was looking to throw a block. That's going to bring the punt team on for Benedictine, give that Harding offense another opportunity to build onto this lead.
Once again, Cora back in to do the punting duties for the Benedictine Bengals. Amari Burgess steps back to his 20-yard line. Last time we had a real high snap, so we'll see if the center gets it down this time.
We'll see if they're going on punt block.
And there's a better snap. And a nice punt by Cora. It sends Burgess all the way back to a 16-yard line. Breaks the tackle, gets it out to the 25, all the way out to the 31-yard line. Nice return for Amari Burgess on that punt.
Yeah, Amari Burgess got some playing time as a sophomore. Really impressed with his ability. Not just, I look at the toughness. You know, you can be fast and you can be strong, you can be all that. I want to know, are you willing to take that ball? Are you willing to put your shoulder pads and your helmet down and take that hit? And Amari Burgess, as a sophomore, proved that he was willing to do that. So big expectations for him and a lot of those other seniors that got playing time as sophomores for this 2020 run.
Four receiver set. Burgess goes in motion. Pass over to and that is tipped and picked off for Benedictine. That looks like Andre Rogers finally wound up with the ball out to the 5-yard line. Actually out right around the goal line. It's going to be 1st and goal. Benedictine inside the Harding 1-yard line.
Yeah, it looks like he was trying to hit the running back in the flats. That's what I was thinking when I saw the play start to develop. But Taylor took some time. He saw something else. Looked like he was trying to go about 5-6 yards down the field, maybe in the flats there. And Benedictine had too many players over there, was able to pick it up, put them on the 1-yard line.
Actually, looks like they're going to be on the 5.
On the 5-yard, on the 5-yard line. Yeah, puts this Harding Raider defense in a tough predicament.
Benedictine shows up in an I formation. Looks like a stacked I formation. And there's a handoff up the middle to Merrill. Merrill bulls his way ahead for a couple. Looks like he's down to the 3-yard line where it'll be second down and goal for Benedictine.
Yeah, with a game like this where you see these two defenses coming out through the first quarter and a third here, and very dominant defenses, that's a big play. That's a big turnover to give Benedictine the ball inside the 5-yard line.
The handoff again to Merrill up the middle, and this time Merrill's going to pound it in for the touchdown for Benedictine, and Cleveland Benedictine takes a 6-3 lead with 9:04 to play in the half.
Well, exactly what you'd expect this Benedictine team to do. They get the big turnover, ball returned down to the Harding 5-yard line. You're going to put it back, regardless if you got any yards or not. You're going to make them stop you. Nothing fancy. You're going to sit there and you're going to try to pound it at them. They had 5 yards to go. They were able to punch it in. Now it's time to see what this Harding team's made of a character. You're down early, 7-3. What's the character of the team? Do they have the ability to play from behind right now? They're down 7-3 to a historically good team. The running game's been pretty much stuffed. Elijah Taylor's shown some ability to throw the ball, but coming off that interception, we will see how the Harding Raiders offense reacts to some early adversity.
Sharan's extra point attempt is good for Benedictine. And it is, as we've said, a 7-3 Benedictine lead. Still early in the second quarter. Looks like 26 Bryson Powell back, as well as Marquand Brown, deep end for the Raiders on this upcoming kickoff. Sharan back to do the kicking duties once again. Left-footed kicker for Benedictine. Sharan put his first kick out of the back for a touchback. Let's see what he does now. He's kind of into the wind this time. And this again will go into the end zone for a touchback, and Harding will start 1st and 10 on their 20.
Yeah, reading up on Benedictine before this game, they've got a few players on that side of the ball, more than a few, that have already gotten some college offers. I do believe the kicker, and if I'm correct, I believe the kicker may have some offers to Army and Navy. You can tell by what he's doing here on the field, giving his kick coverage team the easy night, putting them in the end zone, and it's an easy night for them.
Elijah Taylor leads the Raider offense back out on the field. He's got Paterno to his right. 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line.
Very interested.
Jet sweep around that right edge. That's Amari Burgess this time. He gets a few.
Very interested to see how the Raiders' all-time leader in passing reacts to that interception that led to the score. He's a senior. It's time for him to step up and lead this team. Let them know that, hey, we make mistakes, but we got short memories. We got a long game.
2nd down and 8 for the Raiders at their own 22-yard line. 8:33 and counting in the first half. Burgess and Foster far to the left over there. And the handoff up to middle to Paterno, and he gets a couple more out to about the 24-yard line. Looks like a 3rd down and 6 upcoming.
Yeah, Harding not giving up on that running game, which I absolutely agree with. You got to keep on pounding that middle, and you got to keep them honest. They start bringing those safeties up. Those corners start getting their eyes on the inside. Linebackers start looking at the quarterback. That's going to open up Elijah Taylor's arm to be able to hit these backs out of the backfield or get these one-on-one coverages down the sideline with the corners.
Foster, Burgess, and Amari Burgess and Davion Burgess all out to the left. And Taylor looking over that way. He rolls out to his left and throws it high and out of bounds. Brings up a 4th down and 6. And Raiders going to be forced to punt once more.
Yeah, Harding looks like they're coming with a base 4-3 where Benedictine's looking at that base 3-4 defense with Harding guessing on which linebacker that they're going to send. They sent that pressure from their left from Elijah Taylor's right-hand side. He was able to get out there, get that pass off, but I believe even if he would have completed it, the route was a little short of the 1st down.
Taylor stays in to do the punting duties. And again, a big Raider bounce all the way inside that 20-yard line, down to the 18. Nice punt there by Elijah Taylor to back the Benedictine Bengals all the way back to their 18-yard line.
Yeah, it worked out well for the Raiders there. Taylor's punt down the sideline. Coach's teaching, you got to catch the ball. You got to catch the ball for that right there. He probably got a 25-yard bounce out of that. If he'd have just caught the ball even on a fair catch, Benedictine would be in much better field position here. So Raiders get to start that defensive side down here, not backed up on the 5 like they were last time. Looking for the Raider defense to really take that personal, that last score, and see how they react to the last touchdown scored on them.
Ronnie Schultz with Merrill behind him. Merrill scoots over to the right. Schultz rolls out to the right. Schultz looking downfield. He's going to keep it around that end. He's going to pick up a few on that far sideline.
Yeah, defensive backs for the Raiders are doing their job tonight. Nothing really downfield for Schultz. That's why you see him tucking and running a lot.
Looks like a gain of about 3, 4 maybe. 2nd down and 6 out to the 22-yard line. Schultz under center.
Like maybe equipment.
It's like Perkins has to come out for a play. Mouthpiece. Looks like he needed a mouthpiece. There's a handoff to Merrill. Merrill finds a little bit of room. Not much. Gets it out to about the 26-yard line. Brings up a 3rd down and 2 for the Benedictine Bengals.
Yeah, both these teams are not going to give up on the run, even though the defensive lines and those linebackers are coming up and making the stops. They're not going to give up on the run. That just makes these cornerbacks stay awake. Don't get sucked in. Don't get complacent. Do your job. Cover your man. Let the 4 up front and those 3 linebackers handle the run. You got to maintain the pass, the pass coverage.
Schultz under center and a handoff up the middle to Merrill, and there's been nothing in the middle all night long. Merrill gets nothing there. It's going to bring up maybe a yard. Brings up a 4th down and 1. So this is an interesting play call for Benedictine right now with 6:15 to play in the half.
Well, they're a little deep in their territory, on the 25, 27-yard line, but it looks like they're at least going to line up. Now, this is where the discipline comes in for that Harding defense, specifically those front 4. Let's see if they go with a hard count.
Merrill tried. Looks like he's going to get that with the quarterback sneak. He pounded ahead a little bit. Gets it out to the 29-yard line. That's going to be a 1st and 10 for Benedictine with 5:54 to play.
That might have been the first down I think we've seen since Benedictine.
For Benedict, yep.
First down that Harding's given up this tonight. Looks like Harding wants to talk about a couple things.
Harding uses their 2nd timeout of the half with 5:49 to play. On the short end of a 7-3 score right now.
Well, we're about a quarter and a half in, and I think we're still in the phase of the first 3 rounds of a boxing match where both teams are still trying to feel each other out. Obviously, both defensive lines are stepping up to the challenge and stuffing that run. I just saw in the last run play, you could see that line collapse in, the defensive line collapse in as the running back hit the hole. That's what you definitely want to see. And thus far, Benedictine has not shown the ability to stretch the field with any of their wide receivers as Harding has. Other than that turnover that we saw deep in Raider territory off an ill-advised Elijah Taylor pass, this has been mostly a defensive struggle.
Schultz under center again as Benedictine goes 1st and 10 at their own 29. He rolls out to his right, and that ball is dropped over there by number 2, Terrence Holland.
I think Terrence Holland saw Christmas. That bootleg started dragging everybody to the right. You saw the defensive end and the outside linebacker on that left-hand side both start bailing to the right-hand side. Number 2, Terrence Holland, was wide open there for a first down, if not more. He would have had maybe 1, at most 2 people to beat down that sideline for a big gain.
Brings up 2nd down and 10 for the Benedictine Bengals. And there's a quick pass to the right. And again, just absolutely smothering coverage by those Harding defensive backs as Bryson Powell on that coverage.
Yeah, Bryson Powell, not big in stature. They got him listed at 5'6", 140, but he's obviously got the quickness and the footwork because these corners have been all over it tonight.
3rd down and 10 off that incomplete pass.
Big down for the Raider defense here.
Absolutely. You want to get this ball back and have some time to put another score on the board before we get out here for half. Because Harding's going to have to give the ball up to start the second half, so like to get some points on the board here. Schultz back to pass. He's got Gale coming over the middle. Gale with some room. He'll get the first down out to the 40-yard line. There's a flag on the play.
We got something. We'll see if they call a hold to bring this back, but perfect play drawn up by Benedictine. Raiders had a blitz coming. They were able to hit that screen. Nobody home to give him those yards, but it looks like that penalty, looks like that flag. Yep, holding's going to go against Benedictine. So they're going to have to do it all over again.
That was a killer in a Harding drive, but Harding managed to come back, and Taylor hit Foster for that long gain, and now this holding call is going to put Benedictine back in the hole. Looks like about a 3rd and 13 coming up off of that.
Well, it'll be interesting to see as this game progresses. I mean, those screen passes are nothing but long run plays. And so Benedictine hasn't attempted to stretch the field thus far, but the Harding corners have been there all night long, so we'll see how that progresses.
Schultz steps back to pass. He's going to keep this one.
He's got a lot of
He's got a lot of running room out there. There's a first down and a whole lot more into Raider territory. Up to the 47-yard line goes Ronnie Schultz on the quarterback keeper up the middle. Big first down for Cleveland Benedictine off that 3rd and long with 5:05 to play. Clock stops as we get these chains moved.
Yeah, big play by the quarterback there. Schultz dropped back, checked out the field, but saw what he's been seeing all night, that these corners have good coverage. He tucked it and run. Now we'll see if Coach Arnold decides to put maybe a spy on him if that continues to happen.
This time he's looking to pass. He's got Gale, and that ball almost picked off.
That's 4 passes tonight we've had hands on. Got to give credit to these corners being on the spot.
Marquand Brown almost stole that away from Gale. Chris Gale's a big receiver at 6'1", and Marquand Brown is 6 foot, so pretty even matchup right there.
I'll take my footwork and my speed against size any day.
And again, Schultz looking to pass. He's going to keep it this time, but he's not going to get too much, or maybe a yard on that play, bringing up a 3rd down and 9.
Yeah, Schultz isn't seeing much downfield. He's got some one-on-one matchups out there that we'll see as the night goes on if he's willing to throw up that 50-50 ball to see if his receiver can get it. But the Harding corners have shown all night long they're getting hands on these balls. You can see that his safety valve is not a tight end. His safety valve is not a running back out of the backfield. His safety valve is tucking and running. We'll see if that defense decides to put a spy on him in order to try to mitigate some of those yards.
Benedictine calls their first timeout of the half. Discuss this 3rd down and 9 play. Another big 3rd down play for Benedictine coming up, and that Harding defense looking to put a stop on him, get the ball back, and again, hopefully put some more points on the board before we get out of here for halftime.
As we have seen, the opportunity to play sports can be taken away by the spread of COVID-19. We ask that everyone in attendance wear a facial covering, use proper hygiene, and keep yourself and your family 6 feet apart.
Very pleasant evening here at Mollenkopf tonight. Not the 80-degree humidity that we're kind of used to seeing on these opening weeks. Low 70s, very comfortable for everybody involved.
Yeah, this isn't bad. You know, we start out the year, you know, you and I have done this for, 3-4 years now.
Yeah.
And I think this is our 4th year, and we always see in the beginning of the year with the heat, we see guys going down, and 9 times out of 10 it's a cramp early in the year because of the heat. But tonight we've got a very cool night. In fact, I got a sweatshirt back there just in case that 60-degree weather hits us.
3rd down and 9 for Benedictine.
Looks like Harding switched up to that 3-4 defense. They were coming with the base 4-3. Now you see that 3-4 defense out there.
And that's Rogers in the backfield. This is a bad snap, and that ball looks like it's covered by Harding at the 50-yard line. And it is Harding football at the 50 on the bad snap.
Pressure bust pipes. They've been putting that offensive line under pressure all night. They're able to come up with the turnover. Not as nice as Benedictine had it down to the 5, but this is a turnover. It's an extra possession. Going to give Harding the ball around the 50-yard line. Let's see what they can do to capitalize on it.
Jabari Felton falls on that ball. I don't know what happened there. The snap, like it hit somebody in the ankle or something, but whatever it was on the ground, and Felton fell on it, and it is 1st down Raiders at the 50-yard line with 4:04 to go in this first half.
Crucial possession right here. 4 minutes left. They're going to have to give the ball back to Benedictine to start the second half. Really want to see them put some points on the board here.
Taylor looking. He's got a man open. He's got Burgess over here on the sideline.
Looks like he had Marquand Brown running a post route down the left-hand side, one-on-one coverage. Safety bailed out of there. It was one-on-one with the corner. Looked like he had a couple steps on him. Unfortunately, couldn't see him, but nice completion out to the sideline there for a 1st down.
Brings up a 1st and 10 at the Benedictine 39-yard line. Taylor once again back to pass. He's got Bryson Powell. He hands it off the middle. Bryson Powell. This time Powell has some room. Big 1st down play all the way down to the 32-yard line.
Yeah, you saw that play start to develop nicely, gave the running back some room. I'm interested in how the Benedictine's playing these safeties over here. Looks like they're giving Marquand Brown on the left-hand side there, giving him that one-on-one coverage. Maybe something Elijah Taylor might want to look at.
2nd down and 3 at the 32-yard line. Harding with a couple big plays to open up this drive.
Benedictine with 2 safeties back deep.
The handoff again to Powell. Powell trying to get out around that line. He's losing some yardage, and he's going to be forced all the way back to the 38-yard line.
Flag as well. Looks like in the area of where they can call a hold or maybe even a crackback.
Looks like initial reaction on that Benedictine sideline. Looks like something they're going to want to maybe decline and take the down.
Yeah, it looks like a hold. A lot of times when you see those sweeps, jet sweeps, you got that wide receiver coming back. They're going to crack back on that outside linebacker. They're going to crack back on that defensive end. A lot of times coaches teach you to call that out. Defensive end, linebacker turns their back specifically just to get that crackback call. Or that, blocking the back call.
Benedictine decides to accept that penalty, so it remains 2nd down, but it's 2nd down and 17. The ball gets backed up all the way to the Benedictine 46-yard line.
This is where Harding's in a position specifically with the coaching staff. You've got less than 2:40 left in the first half. You're 2nd and 17, around midfield. You want to run some of that clock down because if you can't score, you obviously don't want to leave Benedictine with any time left to try to put more points on the board before halftime and getting the ball back.
Taylor back to pass. He's looking over here to the right sideline. And that ball is overthrown. That will bring up 3rd down and 17. It stops the clock at 2:18 remaining in the half. Again, Benedictine on top of Harding right now, 7-3. Harding's points coming via the Jake Daugherty field goal, the young freshman, on his first attempt as a varsity football player. Makes good. Benedictine comes back on the interception. That sets up a short touchdown run for the Bengals offense, and they are on top 7-3 at this point. 3 receivers come down here to the right. Looks like Foster and Burgess. Powell in the backfield. Taylor back to pass. Screen over the middle. Powell shakes one tackler, but not the rest of them. He gets it up to about the 45-yard line, but it's still going to be 4th and a long way to go for that first down, and the Raider punt unit takes the field.
Yeah, they tried that middle screen there. Unfortunately, the press that was coming from the defense was coming from the defensive line and not the linebackers. They dropped back into pass coverage, so they were right there, ready for something like that, like the middle screen. Benedictine was able to catch Harding earlier in the game with a blitz, hit that middle screen for a decent gain, but Benedictine lucked out there, kept those linebackers back, were able to hold them to a 2-yard gain. So you're going to have a minute 55. They're going to get the ball with a minute 50, minute 45 left. I believe they've burned 2 timeouts now, Benedictine, so they'll have 1 timeout with a minute 55 left to go a decent amount of the field after this punt.
Benedictine stops the clock before the Raiders get a chance to kick. Trying to save themselves a little bit of time here at the end of this first half. Andre Rogers back to field this kick. Momentarily coming from Elijah Taylor. Taylor sets up on his own 41-yard line to take the snap. Low snap, Taylor fields it, gets the punt. That's a nice looking kick. And Rogers is going to let that go into the end zone.
Yeah, it's going to go into the end zone, end up being around a 30-yard punt net after they bring it out to the 20. That's the second long snap that Taylor's had to short hop. He's got the good hands back there, but obviously something that the coaching staff's going to be aware of.
Well, just like, that bad snap that Benedictine had. Benedictine that time may have been setting up a return. They would have had more people in that backfield, and that could have been a real problem at that point.
Yeah, the Benedictine did luck out. The coaches are calling either a punt return or a punt block. And obviously when that snap went over the head of Benedictine, obviously the Raiders were in a punt return, so they were dropping everybody back on the snap and didn't get that good rush in order to be able to try to recover that bad snap.
Schultz rolls out this.
There it is.
Oh, and almost picked off.
Looks like 10 there, Damari Freeman. Threw it right into his hands, had a gift for him. There was nobody in front of him. He had a good 20 yards of just turf in front of him.
May have been looking at that end zone before he got that ball tucked away, because that was right in the midst that time.
Well, this is why I talk about the idea of possibly putting a spy on this quarterback. He's not shown the ability to throw the long ball. He's obviously reverting to tucking and running. Corners, linebackers have had their hands all over the ball tonight.
Back once again on 2nd down and 10, firing long downfield. He's got a man open!
And just like that, as I say it, he's able to complete the long ball. He also had the receiver on the fly route on the right sideline open as well. He had his choices there. He was able to put the ball on the money.
Ronnie Schultz finds number 15, Marvin Conkle, in stride downfield for the 80-yard touchdown pass. And that is exactly what the Raiders didn't need, a late score by Benedictine. Benedictine's going to get the ball to open the second half, and all of a sudden it's a 13-3 contest with Shoran back out here to attempt another extra point.
That's a big confidence booster for sure. And what he's shown us all night was, he was alluding, he was falling back on the tuck and run as he completes the extra point there to give him that 13 to 14 to 3 lead there. But just as I spoke again about his inability or his unwillingness to throw the ball down the field, he shows his ability. Receiver made a great catch. He had a step on the corner, 80-yard touchdown in the end. You got a minute 32. I believe Harding has one timeout left. Let's see what they're able to do.
.132 to play in this first half. And Benedictine has opened up a 14-3 lead, courtesy of the Ronnie Schultz to Marvin Conkle connection. 80 yards down the middle. Touchdown, reception, and run. Sharan out to do the kicking. He's put everything into the end zone for a touchback. Imagine he's going to try to boot this too and not give Harding a chance to get any big return, field position, or better this late in the half. They're going to want that defense to come out and try to do the job. And another long kick, and that is taken at the goal line. Number 3, Marquand Brown. Brown all the way out to the 30. Nice return for the young man coming out there, Marquand Brown.
Well, he got an additional 10 yards, cost him 12 seconds. That probably wasn't by accident that kick didn't reach the end zone. Give them the opportunity to run some time out. They had confidence in their kick coverage team that they could make the stop. But you got a minute 23 left here. Question is what does Coach Arnold want to do here? Does he want to go to the air, risk incomplete passes and the stoppage of the clock and giving that ball back to Benedictine with the possibility of another score? Thus far, the run game hasn't got off for the Raiders, so I expect them to use this minute 23 in the first game of the year, put it in Elijah Taylor's arm.
Taylor hands off to Marco Paterno, and he is hammered at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, it looks like they're willing to try to run this clock out, take this 14-3 deficit into halftime, and make some adjustments and come out for the second half.
I guess they gave Paterno 1 yard on that play. 2nd down and 9 coming up here. We're under a minute to play. Clock is running. Harding does have a timeout, but if they can't get anything going, they're probably going to be content to go in at halftime and regroup and try to figure some things out for the second half. Taylor watching the play clock wind down. Another handoff up the middle of Paterno. Paterno gets a few yards. Carries the pile out to about, looks like, and all the way out to about the 38-yard line. Some good, strong running there by Marco Paterno.
Benedictine's going to burn a timeout here on this 3rd and 2, 3rd and 3. 24 seconds left from what Harding's shown. Seems like they're willing to just put the ball into the hands of a running back, let this clock expire, take this 14-3 deficit into the half. Well, we got 24 seconds left here in the first half. You look at a recap of what we've seen thus far from both sides of the ball, specifically, the Raiders. That defense has looked pretty good. Gave up the big play, unfortunately. Shuren found his receiver down the seam. He had a step. He made a great throw, great catch. He was able to take it 80 yards. The other score was an ill-advised pass by Taylor, brought the ball down to the 5-yard line. You take out those two plays, you've got an evenly matched game here. But that's football.
Taylor once more hands it off to Paterno, and Paterno looks like he's going to be short. 4th down and 1 at the 39-yard line. But I think we're in a position where Harding can let that clock run down. Benedictine has no timeouts. They're not going to have to get that punt off. And the final seconds tick off here in the first half. Harding's going to go to the locker room. They're going to be down 14-3. A couple of big plays for Benedictine being the difference.
Well, that's going to be the thing that the coaches stress to the team at halftime. Yeah, you're down 2 scores, 14-3. But the reality is you're right in this game. If it weren't for some of the mistakes, whether it be that holding call, whether it be the ill-advised pass that led to the interception that gave him the ball on the 5-yard line, you're right in this game. There's no question that this Harding team has the ability to play with this Benedictine team. You just take those 2 big plays away, and you've got an evenly matched game. So now it comes down to going to the locker room. Both these coaches are going to make adjustments. Both of these coaches, with these programs, there's no way they're going to give up on the run. There's no way that they're going to just concede defeat, that they can't win up front. So I believe both teams are going to make some adjustments, try to continue to keep that get that running game going. I think Harding's got the ability to rest on the idea that Elijah Taylor has proven in the past that he's been able to throw the ball, he's been able to make plays for this offense, and the big 80-yard touchdown, that's going to give that Benedictine team the confidence that if need be, they can throw the ball as well. But I don't believe either of these teams are going to get away from trying to establish the dominance on the front line there, down in the trenches of that offensive line, defensive line struggle. I don't see either of these teams giving up on the run.
All right, Raider Nation, sit back and enjoy the sounds of your Raider marching band.
Maurice Patterson. This year we perform our show 2020 as we present a year in review through music. Our show opens with a song from the 90s group The Offspring. Here is The Kids Aren't All Right.
And now, Mollenkoff Stadium, let's meet our Warren G. Harding Raider Marching Band Senior Class of 2021.
Ty Fowler, trombone.
Nicholas Cases, snare.
Elizabeth Cases, saxophone.
Mason McVicker, tuba.
Joseph Criazzo, baritone.
Maurice Patterson, snare.
Emma Woodyard, flagline.
Jennifer Hallett, clarinet.
Matt Venzel, tuba.
Keelana Smith, trumpet.
Chloe Harris, majorette.
Alyssa Brown, mellophone.
Lola Winbush, majorette.
Christopher Anastasiadis, alto saxophone.
Emma Zimmerman, trumpet.
Caleb Owsley, field commander.
Carla Tapia, saxophone.
Reagan Rivera, majorette.
Abby Frazzini, majorette.
Morgan Ball, majorette.
Brandon Cronin, alto saxophone.
Megan Williams, mellophone.
Marissa Steer, trumpet.
Rachel Gilronan, alto saxophone.
Janaea Richardson, flagline.
Shauna Willoughby, flagline.
Madison James, piccolo.
Kiara Speakus, field commander.
Takaya Williams, flagline.
Robert Sheridan, trumpet.
Rashad Sheridan, tenors.
Lucas Jackson, tuba.
Angelique Hughley, trombone.
Janisha Krishner, majorette.
Nigel Elam, flagline.
Ryan Amos, alto saxophone.
Kennedy Harris, clarinet.
Evan Potts, tuba.
Caden Schweitzer, clarinet.
Thank you, seniors, for your commitment to the Warren G. Harding Raider Marching Band, and we hope you great success in your years to come.
The Raider Band would like to thank all of you for being a wonderful audience tonight. Now join us as we cheer our Raider team.
And now, Mollenkoff Stadium, let's hear it for your 2020 Warren G. Harding Raider cheerleaders. And now, let's meet our Raider cheerleading senior class of 2021. Shawnice Boomer. Cheyenne Fomar. Taylor Lanier. Gia Lopez. Jasmine Red. Destiny Toad. Kyla Turner.
All right, Raider Nation, hope you enjoyed the band playing over there. Too bad we couldn't get them out there marching in formation. We're trying to do the best we can with the whole COVID situation. The fans look like they're pretty well spread out. Harding's done a nice job giving people a place to sit and getting space between them. And it looks like the folks over on the Benedictine side, they're not too clumped together over there, which is a good thing. Harding getting set to open up this second half. A couple minutes to go on the halftime clock as Harding goes through their halftime warm-ups. Harding facing the short end of a 14-3 score. All that scoring taking place in the second quarter. Harding opens up the scoring with a Jake Doherty field goal to go on top 3-0. Then an interception deep in Raider territory gave Benedictine the football. First and goal at the 5, and Mike Merrill pounded it in from there, a couple yards out. And then a little bit later, the only real mistake this secondary's made all night long. They've played a fantastic game, but one little misstep, and Ronnie Schultz finds Marvin Conkle streaking down the middle of the field. Perfectly thrown ball and catch, 80 yards. And we have a 14-3 Benedictine lead.
Yeah, Tom, it really was. It came down to 2 plays. Came to the ill-advised pass that put Benedictine down on the 5, led to the easy 5-yard touchdown. And then, in all honesty, a perfectly placed pass by the Benedictine quarterback, who all night has shown us that he would rather tuck and run than to throw the ball. But when it came up to it, he found a receiver down the seam that had a step, went for 80 yards. Both of these defensive lines have shown dominance to stop the run, and so we'll see how that works out. We've seen receivers open down the sidelines. The question is can we attack the middle? Can we put this Benedictine defense in a position to where not only do they have to defend those receivers to the outside, but they also have to worry about the middle. Once you do that, you're going to see more one-on-one coverage. Elijah Taylor, I can't say enough about him. The young man has seen time since sophomore year, shown great strides last year with the passing yards and the touchdowns. Obviously, I don't want to take away from the offensive line as well, the receivers that he had last year that contributed to that. But this is Burgess and other receivers. It's their turn to step up. Ty Artis ain't walking out on this field. So it's up to the current players that are out there to fill those roles and to give them the weapons that they need. So we'll see. Second half is a big deal. Both these coaches went into the locker room, looked at what worked, looked at what didn't work at halftime, and tried to make adjustments. I can't believe either of these teams are going to give up on the run. So we're in for an exciting half. Benedictine's going to get the ball. That Harding defense is going to have to come out here. They're going to have to make a stop. They're going to have to get the ball back, and they're going to have to drive down there, and they're going to have to put points on the board, whether it's Doherty with a 3 or whether it is the offense scoring a touchdown to put them back in this game. But one way or the other, that Harding defense has to come out here and make a stop, and the offense has to respond by putting some points on the board here soon.
Yeah, that opening series is going to be key. You certainly don't want Benedictine to go down there and score and make this a 3-score ball game. And then, like you said, Ed, we have to see who's going to step up and start grabbing some passes for Elijah. He had, he had Ty Artis, he had Tyreek Ivory last year, and those 2 guys had 1,100 yards receiving between the 2 of them. And Taylor's had a couple passes that were some drop balls, so hopefully we'll start hanging on a few of those things. He's putting the ball on the money. We just got to pull him in and get some yards out of him. Jake Doherty in to do the kicking to open up this second half. The young freshman who's put the only points on the board for Harding so far tonight. And it looks like a short kick, going to be fielded about the 20. And just a very short return and nice coverage by that Harding kick team.
Well, hopefully that's a sign of that defense being pumped up there. They're going to take the field here. You expect both teams to go back to the basics and try to establish that run, but you got to be careful and watch for those play actions. These corners have been all over the field tonight, hands all over the ball, other than that one crushing 80-yard touchdown. These corners and these linebackers have shown great coverage all night. Defensive front four, they've stayed in that base 4-3 most of the night. We have seen them shift to that 3-4 for a couple plays, but here we go. Second half is up.
Schultz under center to start this out at the 21-yard line. He rolls out to his right. And that ball, it looks like it's that's a roll to catch for Marvin Conkle, who had that big reception for the touchdown in the second quarter. And
is he hurt? Are they? Yeah.
Conkle gets up slow. Is roll to completion out to about the 30-yard line, 29-yard line, brings up a second down and 2.
Just like we had said before, they're going to try to establish the line, but you got to watch that play action. They came out, ran that bootleg out to the right. The running back out of the backfield was picked up, but he was able to find that guy over the middle. And we don't have replay. I don't see Harding's bench complaining, so I'm going to agree that was a good catch and pass.
Schultz on second down and 2 under center. Hand off up the middle, and that's going to be a first down. Look like Mike Merrill on the carry. Gary Merrill.
Jack order play by number 22.
Gets the ball out to the 35-yard line. Benedictine with a first down at the 35. Opening drive of the second half. Benedictine on top of Warren Harding 14-3. And again, the handoff up the middle. This time there's nothing there. Merrill runs into a wall of Harding Raiders. No gain on the play, second down and 10.
Yeah, kind of remnants of the first half. You saw the running back take the ball. You've seen the defensive line collapse down on him. You're going to bring up a second and 10 here. They've liked that bootleg with that play, the play action coming off the bootleg. Let's see what they go. It looks like they got twins to the left, single receiver up top.
Schultz checking in with his sideline. He's got lined up in that shotgun with Morrell behind him. Now he scoots Morrell over to his left. Screen out here to number 1, Christopher Gales. Gales with some running room. Gales with a moving. Gales is off to the races. And that looks like a 65-yard catch and run for Christopher Gales.
That's the second time Benedictine has caught us on a screen where we're blitzing.
Back here at the 40.
We'll see if that all comes back.
Schultz to Gales for 65 yards, and it looks like it will be coming back. So
looks like that's a spot. Luckily for Benedictine, that might be a spot foul there. So they'll get some of the yardage penalty from the spot of the foul. Hold or a block in the back, maybe.
Ronnie Schultz hits Christopher Gales out in the flat, and Gales makes a couple moves, cuts across midfield, takes it in for the score. And they are backing Benedictine way up.
Illegal block in the back against the Bengals.
Yeah, that's going to be a spot foul, so it's not going to be from the line of scrimmage, but from where the foul was committed. So they're still going to end up with a first down there, but second down and 10.
Second down and 10 at the 50-yard line. Schultz checks off again. Back under center. And that was a little bit early that time. Marquand Brown trying to break up the pass to Gales once again. This time Marquand Brown got there a step early. That's going to be pass interference on the Raiders.
But you know what? As a coach, I'm not mad about that. He wasn't beat. He wasn't grabbing. He was in position to make the play. He just jumped it a little bit early. In fact, he was actually in perfect position. He just jumped that just a tad bit early. If I'm a coach, yeah, I don't want the penalty, but I'm glad you were in the proper position. I'm glad you were aggressive on the ball.
First down and 10, the ball's on a 35.
First and 10 at the Benedictine 35. The Bengals are on the move once again. Harding could use a stop right here. You don't need the Bengals to go up 21-3 at this point. Schultz over here to the sideline. He's got a completion. That's going to be a first down inside the 25 to number 19, Darius Barrett.
Now, interesting, the Raiders have went to what looks to be a 4-4 base defense with a single safety, leaving those corners out on an island. Now, what we've seen in the first half, they've proven that they can cover on an island. Looks like they're trying to take away anything in the middle or the outside with those linebackers, as well as protect against the run that's been highly unsuccessful for Benedictine thus far.
Dwayne Jackson scoots over to Ronnie Schultz's right. It's a first down and 10. Schultz looking to pass once again over the middle, and this time he had a man open, but it was dropped. That looked like he was trying to hit Gary Merrill.
Intended for number 11, Gary Merrill.
Merrill couldn't hang on at that time.
Yeah, you've got some spots in that defense where once they break the linebackers, if he can drop that ball in the middle of that linebacker versus that safety, you've got a little bit of opening. That's what he was able to do there. But unfortunately, for Benedictine, looked like that running back out of the backfield wasn't able to hold on to the ball.
Second down and 10, just inside the 25-yard line for Benedictine. From what we've seen of this kicker for them, sure, and they're well inside his range. Schultz looking to throw again, scrambling out around the left end. He eludes one tackler, gets it down about the 21-yard line, pickup of about 4 on the play.
Looks like it's going to bring up roughly a 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7 on the 21, 31. From here, you're looking at about a 38-yard field goal.
I think that's inside the young man's range for Benedictine. He's shown a lot of leg on those kickoffs.
A big play for the Raiders right here.
3rd and 7. Benedictine at the 21-yard line of Warren Harding. Schultz looking for the corner. Receiver falls down.
Up, incidental contact.
No flag call. That's going to bring up 4th down.
Official was right there. Looks like that contact was within the permitted amount of yardage. So we'll see. Are they going to bring him on for a 38-yarder?
Got him out there. Sharan's out there. It's going to be about a 38-yard attempt for Ivan Sharan.
There's something for that front line to watch right now. Watch anybody trying to sneak out and obviously stay disciplined on the count.
Kick is up. And it is good. And Benedictine gets out to a 17-3 lead with 9:06 in the third quarter.
Well, as you said, sure, plenty of leg on that kick there. Can't overemphasize enough the importance of having a reliable kicker.
But the good news is the Harding defense holds Benedictine to a field goal, and they keep it a 2-touchdown ball game. So now it's time for that offense to get untracked. No time like the present.
Well, you'd like to see him respond here. You'd really like to see, that front 5 really take this personal, specifically this drive. Take this personal. It's 17-3. It's a home opener. You weren't even supposed to play this year. So take this time to say, you know what, this is our year, this is our senior year. We're not letting anybody come here, push us around. Take control of that line of scrimmage right now. Establish that running game. Get the yards on the ground. Open up the passing game for Elijah and show what this Raider offense can do.
the high-quality patient-centered care. Westmere Family Hospital, we're dedicated to building healthier communities, putting you and your health first.
So again, I think we have Bryson Powell and Marquand Brown. They are the deep backs for the Raiders. Sharan on to kick. I'm going to call this one in the end zone, Eddie. I don't think he's going to let them have a return here.
Yeah, I believe that one before the half was just to run a little bit of time off the clock to give the Raiders less time going into half.
Well, this is fielded at the 1 by Marquand Brown. Brown gets it out to 20. He's beyond the 20 to 25. He'll get it out to about the 27-yard line where the Raiders will set up shop. First down and 10.
Number 3, Marquand Brown on the kickoff.
There was a little bit of breeze coming that direction, but that flag's pretty still over there at that end of the field now.
It's that high humidity of Warren, Ohio. It's like Orlando, Florida. We got Disney World right over there to the east. So big. Can't emphasize how big this drive is for the Raiders.
Looks like Paterno in the backfield there with Elijah Taylor. He's got 2 left and 2 right as far as receivers go. And there's the handoff to Paterno. We've got some early movement.
I saw some movement up there. But as you saw the set come out, you see Harding trying to spread them out. Benedictine's coming with that 3-man front. They've got the field spread out for them. We'll see what they can do with that, whether that helps that run game open up, forces Benedictine to pinch in, or if they're able to stay with just that simple 3-man front. If they can get some pressure with a 3-man front, that draws big problems if they get pressure with a 3-man front. But as you see, the 3-man front, you've got the 2 linebackers. You're 5-on-5 right now with this set. So Coach Arnold has put them in a position to spread them out, give them those one-on-one blocking assignments. It's just man-and-man right now. It's just beat the guy in front of you.
And there's the handoff to Paterno up the middle, and he managed to fall ahead for a few, almost back to the original line of scrimmage. Gets about 3, gets it out to the 15-yard line. It's going to be second down and 12, maybe second down and 13 from there. Looks like they got him on the 16. Second down and 11, let's make it.
Second down and 11, the ball's on the 26.
8:30 to go in this third quarter. Taylor again looking over the offense, getting the play.
Once again, Benedictine's got 5 in the box.
Bryson Powell in the backfield right now. Taylor keeps it, tries to get out around the end, and he's going to get tackled by the ankles. That's Gary Merrill in there doing double duty on the defensive side now. Another loss. Moves the ball back to the 24-yard line. It's going to make another third down and long for Harding. Third down and 13 coming up.
At 3rd and 13, not the spot the offense wants to be in. Defensive players know that if you're trying to get a first down, you got to pass. Defense is wide open on their play calls. Offense is very limited, knowing that this has got to be a pass. Looking for that 13, 15-yard route right now.
Harding sends 3 receivers up top to the left, and that's exactly where Elijah Taylor's looking. Rolls out to his left over the middle. Looking for Kurt Dorsey out there. Dorsey can't come up with it, and that's going to bring up a 4th down for Harding.
Yeah, Taylor found the receiver that had to step in that zone defense they had back there, running that 5-man front. He's got another, 6 people out there in pass coverage. Looked like they were in a zone-type defense there, but he found his receiver, was able to put on his hands. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to come up with the catch.
Looks like we've got a man down for Benedictine back there.
So that might be one of those cramps we talked about.
The first cramp of the evening. Looks like they're trying to stretch that leg out a little bit. Young man gets up. He's going to walk off under his own power. That's number 76, Thomas Jolly, for the Benedictine Bengals, jogging off the field, so that's always good to see. I'm sure we'll see him back out here on their next series of plays. He's going to go over there and get stretched out a little bit more, it looks like.
4th down and 13. Ball's on the 24-yard line. On the punt for the Raiders, number 5.
Elijah Taylor back to punt.
Deep is number 15, Marvin.
Barriott and Conkle are
Number 19, Darius
back to field this.
Nice high punt.
Barrett calls for the fair catch at about the 45-yard line, and that's where Kelly Benedictine will have 1st down and 10 with 7:10 to play in the 3rd quarter, and Benedictine sporting a 17-3 lead over the Harding Raiders at this point.
Well, Harding has shut down the running game. Benedictine has been able to go to the air, one on a long 80-yard pass where receiver was able to beat the defender down the seam. The next one was a screen pass. Planted his left foot, cut back to the right, made a couple guys miss. Was able to take it up the seam for a touchdown for a 65-yarder. Let's see how the Raider defense responds.
Ronnie Schultz and Merrill. Merrill will get the ball. He'll pick up 2 or 3 out to about the 48-yard line for Benedictine.
Now that time it looked like Harding came out in a with a 3-man front, the 3-4 defense.
Call it the 47-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and 8 for the Benedictine Bengals. Schultz again getting the play from the sideline. Now we're ready to go.
Well, looks like we're in a blitz again. They caught us last time with that
Schultz
screen.
Back to pass. He's got a little pressure on him. He gets outside the pocket. He's going to go around the end and keep it. Looking for that marker, and he's got a 1st down inside the 45-yard line.
They're going to call a hit over there.
And it looks like we got a late hit on the sideline. It's going to add another 15 to that play. And that's going to push Benedictine well into Raider territory.
Yeah, it looked like he started into that hit well onto the field, but obviously the officials saw that differently. They're going to throw the penalty flag, 15 yards.
Schultz out of bounds at the 38-yard line with the 1st down. We're going to tack 15 yards onto that for the late hit out of bounds. That's going to give Benedictine a 1st down at the Harding 29-yard line.
Carson Taylor over the 29-yard.
Merrill looking over here to the right. Again under pressure. And this time he's going to go down a little bit behind the line of scrimmage. It's going to be a loss of a yard. Call this 2nd down and 11 from the 30-yard line. He was looking for Gales over here on the left, but as it has been most of the night, that coverage was good.
Nice pressure by the defense, that front 4. The corners did their job locking up those receivers. Schultz took a little too much time, Shuren took a little too much time looking downfield. They were able to get to him. 2nd and 11 here. I'd like to see him pushing back a little more.
And Schultz looking to throw once again, and now under a lot of pressure. He's going to go down way back at the 39-yard line. Huge play for that Raider defense.
Yeah, big play by the defense. That's going to bring up 3rd and a lot, probably around 3rd and 20, I think. Yeah, 3rd and 20 they're putting up on the scoreboard. And even with the leg that Shuren has shown all night, I don't believe they're going to bring him in, and they're going to need another 5 to 10 yards before they bring him in for the 3 points. So this might be 4-down territory for Benedictine, but on a 3rd and 20, they've shown the ability to get pressure on the quarterback right now. You know he needs some time to get that ball out there 20 yards. I expect the Raider defense to send him. Got to watch for that quick hitter up the middle.
Another tackle for a loss. Try to get that ball off to Andre Rogers on the draw play.
Yeah, you would have assumed Benedictine would have been back to one of those screen passes that have been successful for them all night, specifically in a situation like that when you could guess that the defense is going to bring some people to make the quarterback get that ball off a little faster than he wants, but they went with the simple dive play, ended up losing 4 yards. Raider defense was ready. You're going to probably get pinned back here, so we're hoping for a good return, get that Raider offense on the field and get some yards in the other direction. It's like a false start's going to push him back.
Push him back a little bit more.
Procedure against the big one.
Big sack on that series by Kincaid Tyson to set up the long third down, and then the penetration on the attempted draw play to make it 4th and 20, and now it's going to be 4th and 25, 4th and 29 actually. Cora on the kick. We have Amari Burgess back at his 10-yard line waiting to field this punt. Oh, we had a lot of pressure on him. That was close. And that ball is going to bound into the end zone. Harding's going to take it over 1st and 10 at the 20. And that was so close to being blocked.
Raiders take over first down.
You know, and that's what they're looking for right now. 3:55 left in the third quarter. Harding's obviously looking for a big play. Something like that right there. If they could have got that block in the scoop for 6, would have put them right back in here. But now it goes back to the offense. It goes back to the offense showing and proving what they can do here.
1st and 10 Raiders at their own 20-yard line. 3:55 to play in the third quarter. 17-3 Cleveland Benedictine lead. A lot of time in the ball game, but this Harding offense has to get started right here. Looks like Marco Paterno in there to the right of Elijah Taylor this time. He's got 2 receivers left, 2 receivers right. High snap. Taylor's going to keep it, and he's going to get a few yards out of that, 6 or 7 yards. Taylor made something out of nothing on that.
You know, I like what they're doing there. Elijah's got that big body there, showing the ability to run in the pass. You've got 5 men in the box for Benedictine. You got 5 linemen up front. Take that running back, put the odds on your side, make it 6-on-5. Let Elijah Taylor follow that running back. Make it a 6-on-5. Let those receivers run them off. As soon as those cornerbacks start looking in the backfield at Elijah Taylor, pull up, hit the pass downfield.
3 receivers to the left. This time the handoff goes to Paterno. Paterno was, again, fighting for yardage down there. He's got a first down. Now it's about the 33-yard line. Running game showing some signs of life right now.
Yeah, nice hard run there by Paterno Jr., 6'1", 200. From here, I looked at him. I thought he was more of a speed back, but looking at what they've got him listed as, 6'1", 200, obviously he's got that size to be able to lower his head, get a couple extra yards.
Again, 3 receivers over there to the left. And this time Taylor with the screen. Looks like Davari Burgess.
Taylor's pass complete to
Yep,
first.
Davion Burgess, sorry about that. Completion to Davion Burgess. He gets a couple out to the 35-yard line. Call 2nd down and 8 coming up.
2nd and 8. Ball to the 35-yard line.
You know, Benedictine's lining up man on man here. You got 5-on-5 up front. You've got the corners and the safeties lined up on those receivers. I'd like to see you take those receivers deep, maybe get a one-on-one situation with that running back out there with the screens.
Second down and 8. We've got Brown and Dorsey and Burgess on the near side. There's the handoff up the middle again to Paterno, and once again the middle shuts down. Might lose a half a yard on that play. We'll keep it third down and 9. 9 yards for the first down coming up.
Well, you got a 3rd and 9 here. You've got some one-on-ones out there. Obviously, you've got those 2 deep safeties for Benedictine. Those 2 safeties are honestly accounting for the quarterback and the running back. Everybody else is man up. You got three front. You got 3 men on the front. You got the 2 linebackers accounting for the line. You got the corners and the safeties covering.
Screen to Bryson Powell. Powell makes a move back to the inside. He gets a few yards. Gets it outside the 35-yard line, out to about the 36. But again, that's going to bring up a 4th down and long. So the punt team makes its way onto the field for Harding.
Under punt for the Raiders, Taylor.
Barrett and Conkle are back deep for Benedictine. Taylor once again to punt.
4th down and 7.
And that ball is going to be fielded by Conkle. Shakes one tackler. He's back to the 50. He's into Harding territory. There's a flag on the play.
Looks like we saw a block in the back possibly there.
Conkle gets the return back to about the Harding 45-yard line, but we'll see what this flag's all about. And it does look like it's going to go against Cleveland Benedictine and back them up a little bit on this series. Well, after that nice return, that's going to move the ball back to the Benedictine 35-yard line where they'll start out 1st and 10. 13 seconds of play in the 3rd quarter.
1st and 10, the ball's on the 35.
We'll get a playoff here, maybe 2, and then we're going to switch ends for the 4th. Looks like Schultz has Merrill behind him once again. He's got 3 receivers down here to his left. Conkle, Gales, and Wilson are the 3 Benedictine receivers down here to this side. Schultz rolls to this side, looks over the sideline. He's got Gales. Gales with the sliding catch at about the 42-yard line. Pickup of about 7 on that play, make it a 2nd down and 3. And that's going to bring us to the end of the 3rd quarter rather. Sorry about that. 3rd quarter, we go the 4th. Cleveland Benedictine 17, Warren Harding 3.
We got 12 minutes left here. Harding was able to hold Benedictine to just 3 points in that last quarter. Benedictine's going to start out. Figure they're going to run some clock here. Run 3, 4, possibly 5 minutes off the clock, depending if they get a 1st down or not. But there's no question at this point, every possession for the Harding Raiders becomes extremely important. Let's not forget about what we've seen during this game. With Benedictine putting the ball up in the air, the corners, linebackers have been able to get their hands on several of those balls. We need to do more than get our hands on the balls. Those passes need to turn into interceptions and turnovers. Putting Harding in some better field position to be able to get some quick scores. You know, you figure right now, look, you're down 2 touchdowns. 2 touchdowns will tie it for you. 2 touchdowns with 2 extra points will tie it for you. You got to play strong defense. You got to play strong offense. And if you've got any falters on either side of that, you're going to need a turnover. You're going to need a big turnover inside Benedictine's territory to be able to put some points on the board. So Harding knows what's in front of them. It's just going out there and doing it now. Obviously, Benedictine's going to do everything they can to make sure everything I just said doesn't happen.
Benedictine is going to start the 4th quarter with a 2nd down and 3 coming up from the 42-yard line. Both teams still have all 3 timeouts as we head into the final stanza of this ball game. Benedictine at their own 42. They need to get out to the 45 for a 1st down. Schultz under center. He's got Merrill behind him, and the handoff is up the middle to Merrill, and Merrill is struggling ahead. He might get he gets a couple out of that. It's going to make it third and one at the 44-yard line.
Tackle to play by Tyson.
Last time they found themselves third and short, he went under center and he did a quarterback sneak. There it is again. It looked like they have it stuffed.
Oh, now that pile moved ahead at the last minute.
Progress.
That second effort's going to get it. And look at that Benedictine roster. They don't have the weights, but those guys, they look like they got a little bit of beef up front themselves down there. It's too bad they don't have the weights down here. We can't see that, but
yeah, they've got some beef up front, but more importantly, they've got confidence up front right now. You know, 17-3, fourth quarter, they've got the confidence on their side as well. That jet sweep left, right.
Conkle gets a little bit of room. He's got a first down. Conkle all the way down to the Harding 42-yard line.
Contain.
And at this point, Benedictine's going to keep that ball on the ground until you force them to do otherwise. If they're getting yards running, they're not going to put it in the air at this point.
Yeah, they'll take that touchdown as a gift. They're obviously very, very content with keeping the ball on the ground right now and just chipping away at that clock.
This time they hand off to Merrill. Merrill is going to be tackled in the backfield for about a 3-yard loss back to the 45-yard line. That brings up a second down and 13 for the Bengals.
Third down to 13. Ball's on the 45-yard line.
We'll see if this gets Benedictine to put the ball up in the air. Schultz in that shotgun. He gets checking off, getting the play. Kunkel and Gales up there on the far side. They're the two to watch when Schultz puts it up. And he's looking that way. And that ball, almost picked off by Amari Burgess. We've had a couple of those in defensive backs' hands tonight.
Now, this is what I talked about earlier. Those corners have gotten their hands on the ball all night long. They need to turn one of those passes, not into an incompletion, but a turnover. Third and 13 right now. Benedictine had 3rd and 18 and hit a big pass on it. So, you know, being able to get off the field, get the ball back into the hands of the offense is crucial right now with 10 minutes left in the game.
Rogers in at running back. Conkle and Barrett, it looks like, down here to the right side for Benedictine.
Man front looks like some movement.
Looks like some movement there. That's going to push him back. That's going to bring up a long third down, or longer third down.
Going to give him another 3rd and 18 again.
$10 minutes, 5 seconds remaining in the ball game. Big third down play here. This is a place where Harding desperately needs to stop. They need to get their hands back on that ball and put some numbers on the board very quickly. 3 receivers come down here to the right. Rogers in the backfield alongside Schultz, the quarterback. Schultz rolls out to his left. He's looking for Gales over there on the sideline. And again, it's Marquand Brown. I'm sorry, Marquand Brown that time once again in there. Breaking that up.
Great coverage out there. Looks like he ran a little hook pattern there on the sideline. Tried to hit him quick, but corner once again. Corners have been there all night long. With about 10 minutes left, 9:59. Is what it is. You need 2 scores.
That's going to bring Cora on to do the punting once again. Amari Burgess set to field a kick back on the Raider 10-yard line. We'll see if he has a chance to run something here.
It looks like they're bringing the house.
It's a high kick. And it's going to go out of bounds right around the 21, 22-yard line. Cora's had a couple nice punts. I think he might have been forced to rush that one a little bit. That was a hard rush by Harding that time, trying to make something happen.
Well, you know, the the snap that went over his head, and then they've come close on a couple. Definitely understand why Harding wanted to put some pressure on him there. See if they can force a bad snap, maybe get a block, maybe force a shank, give them some better field position. But looks like they're going to start out around the 22-yard line. 9:51 left, down 2 scores. They got to go to work.
Davion Burgess, Dom Foster down here to the left, Amari Burgess, and I think Kurt Dorsey up there on the right. And that's Davion Burgess in motion as Taylor steps back to pass. He looks over the middle. And a nice defensive play by the Benedictine cornerback that time. 2nd down and 10 coming up on the broken up pass play.
Yeah, it looked like they were man across the board there. Found his receiver, tried to hit him when he planted that right foot. Unfortunately, wasn't able to hold on to the ball.
Second and 10. Taylor looking over here to the near sideline. Davion Burgess. And that is roll to catch for a first down. Burgess, nice job getting his foot down on the sideline right there. Also stops the clock.
Yeah, nice catch by Burgess there. Nice find to the outside. Get that clock stopped at 9:38. Keep on moving the chains.
1st and 10 at the Harding 33-yard line, it looks like. Taylor and Dorsey and Brown are all lined up over there to the right. High snap. Taylor pulls it down. Gets it out close to a first down, about 8 yards on that carry. Make it 9 out to about the 42-yard line.
I don't know if that was a planned play or not. That snap came back there, kind of floated back there, kind of high.
He had one like that a couple series ago. I think he's just take that. Those, we've said that before. That snap like that just throws the timing of everything off. And Taylor's doing a nice job pulling those down and getting some positive yards out of that broken play.
Well, he's got the time in. He understands it doesn't really frazzle him there. But you got 2nd and 1, great opportunity for the offense right here.
Taylor's going to keep this round in. He's got the first down out to about the 48-yard line. That's going to move the chains.
Give him a fresh set of downs. A couple yards short of midfield here. Clock still running though with 8:51. As soon as they get this, as soon as they get the chains set.
Marco Paterno in the backfield alongside quarterback Elijah Taylor. Davion Burgess goes in motion over to that right side. And Taylor's got Dom Foster maybe just a half a step behind him. Foster couldn't hold that one in.
And incomplete's going to stop the clock here at 8:23. Harding still with all 3 timeouts left. Very crucial that they get some points on the board on this drive. And not just points, I think you need a touchdown at this point. Can't leave yourself in a 2-possession game with less than 8 minutes left.
Got to put 6 on the board and cut it down to 1 possession. Taylor looking for the quarterback draw, and there was nothing going on that. That's a 3-yard loss. That's going to make it 3rd down and 13 at the Raider 45-yard line. Clock continues to run.
Well, it's 3rd and 13. You're down 2 scores. You're getting real close if you're not there with this being all 4-down territory right now.
Under 8 minutes to play.
If the coaches have decided this is 4-down territory, chip away at it. Try to get 6 or 7 on this one. You know you got 4th down left to get the remainder. Don't have to get it all at once.
Tom Foster down here to the right. Left rather, his near sideline. Taylor he's looking for Dom Foster. Foster hauls it in at the 33-yard line. 1st and 10 Harding.
Dom Foster got some time last year as well, and that was a great example right there of the quarterback and the receiver trusted each other. He released that ball before he completed his route. He trusted the fact that his receiver was going to be there because over repetition, he knows it. Those are the type of things that keep this offense moving. At quarterback, developing that relationship with the receiver, no different than the relationship that he had with the receivers last year. Nice play, very nice play. They're going to talk about that tomorrow in films.
Dorsey, Taylor, and Davion Burgess, 3 receivers to the right. Dom Foster once again over here to the left. And again looking for Foster. Foster steps back, makes the grab, gets it inside the 30-yard line.
Another nice pitch and catch between quarterback and receiver. I'm sure the sidelines are screaming at him, though. Time is of an essence. You need to get out of bounds on these. We need to start stopping the clock. In high school, you know, that ball's going to stop on a first down only until they set the chains. It's crucial that you save those timeouts, preserve the time by getting out of bounds when you have the opportunity to. Love his ability, love his desire to try to get more yards, but right now the clock is not your friend.
2nd down and 6 off that 4-yard completion. And again, Dom Foster down here. Davion Burgess looking. We're looking for Foster again.
Anything? They're calling incidental contact.
Incidental. Yep.
Safety was on his way over, but he got a late break.
He keeps his feet. He's got that beat to the corner right there. I think he had some room.
3rd down and 6.
That incompletion stops the clock at 6:13. 3rd down and 6 for Harding.
Once again, you're obviously at this point, you're in 4-down territory. You're 3rd and 6. Wouldn't almost mind seeing some type of play action here. See if you can get those linebackers and that safety to bite. Maybe those corners are staring in the backfield. Look for those one-on-ones on the outside. Let them take a chance.
That's John Taylor and Davion Burgess going up there to the far sideline. Taylor rolls out over there.
Got a foot in. That's a first
Looks
down.
like he found Davion Burgess once again. 1st down up around the 22-yard line, and Harding is on the move late in the ball game. Call it to 21. 1st and 10 at the 21. A little bit more than 6 minutes to play. Clock is stopped on the out of bounds.
Yeah, nice composure, nice presence in the pocket by Taylor there, finding his receiver there. Receiver made a nice play. Corner went for it, missed. He was able to make that reception, couple yards upfield, get out of bounds and stop the clock with 6:06 left.
Foster and Burgess are down here to the left. John Taylor goes to the right. Looking over here to the left. He's looking for Foster in the corner.
Oh. A lot of one-on-one out there. He was able to find his receiver down, streaking down that left-hand side, gave him the jump ball. Unfortunately, wasn't able to come up with it.
2nd down and 10. The ball's on the 21-yard line.
Going to make it 2nd down and 10 from the 21. 6 minutes to play in the game.
I like the shot that he took there, though. Recognized that he had man-on-man coverage there. Had a man streaking down the near sideline there, gave him that 50-50 ball. Ended up being an incompletion, but I like the quarterback's ability to recognize the defense and find those one-on-ones, throw it to that receiver you trust and give him a chance. Once again, you see the safety is shading to the left. You see that
Taylor looking over to the left, rolls out again to the corner, looking for Foster again.
Got him.
And this time, Foster makes the grab. Touchdown, Raiders! 21-yard completion from Elijah Taylor to Dom Foster. And with 5:52 to go in the ball game, it is now a 17-9 score.
Exactly what they needed with 5:52 left in the game. I forget that Taylor's a left-handed quarterback and he's comfortable rolling out that way. Once again, found that one-on-one. Obviously something the coaches in the booth have seen, identified those one-on-ones. They liked their chances with Dom Foster on the sideline, went to him twice in a row. It paid off. 5:52 left. Crucial extra point and crucial defensive stand coming up. Made it.
And he gets it off the doink, off the upright.
Hey, I'm sure the young man, the young freshman will take that right now.
Absolutely. Jake Taylor, freshman, makes a crucial extra point. 17-10 ball game. 5:52 to play.
So you got 5:52 left in the game. Raiders have all 3 timeouts, so does Benedictine. Raiders defense has shown up in this second half. They've only allowed a field goal. Harding's got on the board for the first time. So the defense has shown up. They got to play smart. You assume that Benedictine is going to try to run some clock. So if they can get away with it, they're going to keep that ball on the ground, or they're going to stay with those screen passes that are basically just long runs and try to stay in bounds and try to run this clock off. It is direly important that if they put that ball up in the air, we can't just bat it down. We need that turnover right now in order to give that offense the ball again to try to tie this game up.
Looks like Benedictine, they seem to be anticipating the onside kick.
And a little early for that, especially with 3 timeouts left.
Now they're going to back up into a regular formation, and Taylor kicks it. It's fielded at about the 13-yard line. Andre Rogers brings it up the middle, gets it out to about the 28. Benedictine will have the ball 1st and 10 right there. 5:48 to play. And the game once again finds itself in the hands of the Raider defense. See if they can get that ball back quick and give the offense a chance to tie this ball game up.
I'm interested to see what the big man does. 73, Sam Waldman, senior, 6'4", 355. He's got to be a problem. On this series, he needs to be a problem. He needs to disrupt the center. He needs to draw that double team to free up his other defensive players.
Schultz under center. He's got 2 backs behind him. And Benedictine maybe just trying to pound this one out. Nope, he's going to haul up and pass. And he's got Conkle over here on the near sideline. Conkle gets it out to about the 37, close to a first down on that play. Benedictine set up in that power I, but then they went to the air for Marvin Conkle over here. Called 2nd down and 1, 9 yards on the pass play.
A nice play by Benedictine, obviously showing a lot of faith in their quarterback to be able to complete that pass, get everybody out of bounds, or excuse me, keep them in bounds. But you run those out patterns, the way these corners have been playing, lucky that's not returned for 6.
And this time they give us to Merrill up the middle, and he's going to lose a yard on that play. And hit hard in there.
And that's what I'm talking about. It starts with the men up front. That front line right there. This is where they need to step up and make a stand.
Amari Burgess, Kincaid Tyson, Chester Adams all look to be in that backfield on that play.
You're going to have a 3rd and 3 coming up right here. Looking for the big man to just clog everything up in the middle, get those linebackers coming up, filling the holes, making the stop. Corners, do what you've done all night.
Big play for the Raider defense right here. 3rd down and 3, 4:30 to play. Schultz getting his play from the sideline, letting the clock run down as much as they can. And looks like we're going to get a delay of game penalty possibly. Too much time, or did they get a timeout in there?
Who called it? Was it?
Well, this official back here put a flag down, so they must have got the timeout in time.
Looks like, Benedictine did burn their timeout, so Harding's going to remain with their 3 timeouts right now. But crucial play right here, crucial play. Benedictine has had the lead comfortably all night long doing this. 4:22 left, game on the line right here. You don't want to put the ball back in the hands of this Harding offense with the confidence that they have right now. So we'll see. They've got a lot of things open. They've shown the ability to complete those outside passes. They've shown the ability to get first downs and move the chains on some screen patterns. So we'll see. Very, very interesting situation. Does Harding send the blitz and worry about them hitting that screen that they've been burned with in the past? We'll see. We'll see what these young men do on this play.
These guidelines will go a long way in determining how much of
Benedictine back out in the field after their timeout. 4:22. It's 3rd down and 3.
7 men in the box for Harding.
There's the pitch out to
Pitch
Rogers.
outside,
Rogers drops it down.
But there it is. Is it still free?
Rogers covers the ball, but it's a big loss, and it's going to force Benedictine to punt.
Great happenstance for the Raiders on that. They ran the fake to the inside. Everybody pinched down. Linebackers, defensive ends came down. He made that pitch to the outside. Nobody was home, but the running back was looking upfield before he caught the ball. Great position for the Raiders right now with 3 timeouts left. They should get the ball back with a little less than 3 minutes, a little less than 4 minutes left in the game. Plenty of time with those 3 minutes to be able to drive the length of the field and tie this up.
And this is about the deepest that Cora's ever had to kick from for punting. Burgess.
They've had some problems all night. One bad snap.
Up -45.
Raiders have been able to get close a couple times. Let's see if they send him or they put him in the punt return. Looks like they're sending him.
And it's a bad snap.
He's
going to try to run this other side.
He's got nothing. He's got nothing.
Big hit on the 25-yard line. Raider football! Benedictine tries to fake punt, and there was nothing doing on that one.
Damari Freeman with great pursuit there. Never question what a coach does. But that probably isn't what I would have done, deep in my own territory, down 7 with less than 4 minutes left in the game.
I wonder if he decided to break that off. That was another bad snap. I just wonder if he didn't think he could get it off with the snap that he had.
There's a possibility there because I can't see that being the coach's first choice to call a fake punt deep in your own territory with the game on the line like that.
Your defense has performed all night. There's no point in trying to,
Well, if it worked, you'd look like a genius.
Yes, it would have. At any rate, it is Harding, first down and 10 at the Benedictine 26. Taylor's going to keep this one. He'll get a couple up to about the 24-yard line. And now, all of a sudden, we've got a barn burner, Raider Nation.
Well, with the field position they have right now, they've got the opportunity at, say, roughly 8 plays. They can get another first down here. They get a first down. Actually, if they get a first down here, they'd have the opportunity to get one more first down. So they've got total 12 possible plays if they can keep on moving the ball to get it in the end zone.
Second down and 8. We've got 3 receivers up on the top. Taylor is looking over that way. Fires it out to the corner and not quite hauled in there. Looking for Amari Burgess out there in the flats. Amari couldn't haul that one in. Makes it 3rd down and 8.
Yeah, a little too much hot sauce on that one. He had him out there, and a little too much on that one for the receiver to bring in. Going to bring up a 3rd and 8, but once again, we're obviously in 4-down territory here.
Ball to the 24-yard line.
And let's not forget, Harding still has all 3 timeouts.
Absolutely. Yep. Yes, they do. That has worked out very nicely. Wondering if they should have called a timeout earlier, and everything has really played into their hands right now. But we need to get a few yards on this play right here. 2 receivers right, 2 left. Taylor looking to throw. He rolls out to his left. He's got a man over the middle. He's looking for Amari Burgess again and again. We just simply can't haul that pass in. 4th down and 8 coming up.
Nice footwork by the quarterback there. Found Amari Burgess streaking across the field there. If he'd have been able to haul that in, that probably would have went for 6 right there. But once again, with those 3 timeouts, 4-down territory, they go for it on 4th and 8. Even if they don't get it, that defense comes out and makes a stand. They've got the timeouts to be able to get the ball back with possibly a couple minutes still left in the game.
Absolutely.
Now they're going to burn one here.
Well, Harding's going to take a moment to discuss this 4th down play, and this is as big a play as we've had in this ball game right now. 4th and 8, 2:46 to play. Harding is on the Benedictine 24-yard line. They are down 17 to 10 right now.
Our season depends on the cooperation and support from everyone to follow the safety guidelines
Yeah,
set
4th
by
and
the
8.
Ohio Department of Health.
The playbook's wide open for the offense right here.
Athletic Association. As we have seen, the opportunity to play sports can be taken away by the
You've
spread of COVID-19.
seen the ability for the receivers to break open, specifically on those sideline to sideline patterns.
Other families.
offensive line has seemed to give the quarterback enough time to be able to read that defense, be able to find the receiver he's liked. But Benedictine's been very confident with covering our receivers one-on-one. It's throwing up that 50-50 ball if it comes down to it, because once again, with those 2 timeouts, they should be able to put themselves in a position, if the defense can show up, to be able to get the ball back if they're unsuccessful on this 4th and 8.
Okay, Raider fans, here we go. 4th down and 8, 2:46 to play. We've got 2 receivers left, 2 right. Taylor's dropping back. Breaks to the outside. He's got a little room. He's still looking to throw it. Breaks 1 tackle, and he's going to come up a little bit short. Gets it up to about the 25-yard line. Actually loses a yard on that play. And as we were just saying, it is now in the hands of the defense. Try to get this ball back and give Harding one more shot at this.
You figure with the 4 downs, they're probably going to be able to run 2 of those downs down. I believe it's a 35-second play clock. So you figure right there, you've got 70 seconds that they're going to be able to burn off regardless. You know, you take a couple seconds for each play, 3 to 5 seconds. You know, Harding has the ability, if they can do the defense, make a defensive stand here, they do have the ability to get the ball back with minimal time. Defense has to step up though.
Schultz with the handoff up the middle, and there's nothing there, the line of scrimmage. He might pick up 1 yard. Merrill the ball carry up the middle, gets 1. 2nd down and 9. Clock continues to run. We get a stop here. Harding maybe saving those timeouts for 3rd and 4th down to try and get the ball back. Coming up on 2 minutes of play as Benedictine watches the play clock. And Benedictine will take a timeout there to discuss what they want to do with 2nd down and 9. 1:46 to play in the ball game.
You got a 2nd and long. Benedictine has obviously been a little unpredictable on some of their play calling, so you got to watch them. They've shown confidence in the quarterback's abilities, so you got to watch. You still have to be aware of that play action and them hitting that little dump pass. Get them 8-9 yards, 1st down, you know, game over. So everybody on the defense has to maintain their assignments. You got to trust your teammates. You got to trust that the linebackers are going to do what they're supposed to do. You got to trust that the corners and safeties are going to do what they're going to do. Everybody's got to do their job right now. Don't get sucked in. Don't get your eyes back in the backfield. Everybody do their job like you've been doing all game. You've held them to 17 points. 2 of those scores were flukes. One was on the turnover. The other one, hey, the guy broke open. He hit him. Great play. Other than that, you've done your job all night. Trust your teammates. Trust the system.
This time, Schultz back to pass, looking deep downfield. He's got Conkle open. Conkle at the 35-yard line, and that is going to be a 75-yard touchdown pass reception for Cleveland Benedictine, and that's going to do it, I'm afraid. He had Conkle. Conkle had the DB by 3 or 4 steps on that one, and
well, you saw what happened there. The Conkle looked like he ran a post pattern there. As soon as he planted that right foot to hit that post pattern, looked like that was 26. Bryson Powell lost his footing there, kind of tripped up. That give the quarterback the credit. He threw a perfect pass. It was completed on the other end. Unfortunately, that does look like that's going to wrap it up for tonight.
So that Schultz to Conkle connection, that is going to be the undoing of Warren Harding this evening. Sharan bound to make the kick, which he does with no problems, and it is now a 24-10 ball game with 1:36 to play.
Well, big plays.
3 of them.
Three big plays were the difference of this game. the 2 long touchdowns, as well as that interception that came back to the 5. Obviously, these are things that they're going to discuss tomorrow in films. Not giving up the big play, but at the same time, you got to give Benedictine their credit. Benedictine put themselves in positions to make the big play, but opening game, team like Benedictine, we'd love to come away with a W tonight. Unfortunately, we're not going to, but in this COVID season we're playing, I'm not totally disappointed with what I saw on the field tonight. They didn't give up. They were in it until the last minute. The defense looked very good at times. The offense in the end showed up when they needed to. Obviously, you want to get into that front line because it all starts there. It starts with the offensive line. Unfortunately, they weren't able to establish that run as we're used to seeing these Harding teams doing. That opens up all the passing lanes for the quarterback. But this is week 1. Both these teams got films late. I'm just glad to be out here to be able to see these kids get on the field and play ball.
That ball's fielded by Marquand Brown around the 5-yard line. He's trying over to the right side. He's going to be pushed out of bounds around the 16-yard line. Harding takes over 1st and 10 at their own 16 with a minute 28 to play, and unfortunately on the short end of a 24-10 score. Coming off the heels of that Ronnie Schultz to Marvin Conkle's 75-yard touchdown pass and run. Elijah Taylor trots his offense out there one more time this evening. Taylor's going to put the ball in the air. He's looking downfield, looking for Dom Foster once more. Coverage there by Andre Rogers of Benedictine to break that pass up. 2nd down and 10 with a minute 23 to play.
Yeah, Benedictine obviously what seemed to be the game well in hand. Willing to keep those corners out there by themselves on an island. Pass a little bit underthrown, but that's one of the things you want to see as this year progresses is kids like Dom Foster, who's only a junior but 6'1", got some playing time last year, willing to see his abilities to go up and get those one-on-one balls. You want to show your quarterback that you can trust me. If you see me out here on an island by myself, throw it up. I will beat him on a consistent basis.
Taylor again looking down here. This time Foster makes the grab on the sideline, but he does get out of bounds. It's going to be a 1st down out around the 33-yard line. Clock will stop for a few moments while the chain gang moves it up ahead. Minute 15 to play. 1st and 10 Raiders at their own 33-yard line. Clock now running. And looking for Foster again over the middle, but that was a little bit too tall for Dom. Even at 6'1", he wasn't going to grab that one. That'll stop the clock at 55 seconds left to play. 2nd down and 10.
Well, Tom, I'll tell you, coming into this game, didn't really know what to expect from the teams on the field with the late switch for both these teams. I'm sure films were exchanged late to the fans not being here, to the ruckus of the stadium. But all in all, for the ability to get out here and play ball, the amount of fans in the stands, the students, the band.
That pass is complete. Amari Burgess hauls that one in. Takes that into Benedictine territory, and Amari Burgess dragged down pretty hard over there, and he's slow to get up at the Benedictine 42-yard line. That's a first down. But
definitely at this point in the game, you're really hoping that he's just shaken up. Never want to see a kid get hurt, but definitely don't want to see a kid get hurt at this stage of the game. Looks like he's going to get up there. He's just shaking up a little bit. But as I was saying, Tom, I mean, overall, I can't complain. I mean, my hats are off to Warren City Schools and everyone who was a part of putting this together, to be able to get some fans in the seats, to be able to make sure these kids got to play a game. And big hats off to everyone associated with WSCN, with allowing us to be able to get this game on YouTube for everybody to be able to enjoy it.
Foster makes a nice grab. He's a step or two out of bounds on that one. Brings up 2nd down and 10 from the 43-yard line. 39 seconds to go in the ball game. Harding still trying to maybe put something else on the board here before we get out of here tonight.
You want to go out on a positive note. I mean, they do have next week, I believe Mooney is next week here at Mollenkoff Stadium. I believe Mooney lost their first game as well last night. Obviously, you always, as a coach, you always want to go out on a high note, even if it's with a W. You want to be able to go out on a high note to show these kids the potential that they have on this upcoming season.
Taylor's pass intended for Dorsey.
Taylor looking for Kurt Dorsey on that play. I can't tell whether that was complete or not. I don't think it was complete. I think Harding was trying to hurry up and get down there where the ball was.
I think the officials fell asleep on that.
Something. They weren't real quick on that.
Right,
I thought that ball got popped loose.
Hey, you want the ball there? Go ahead. Leave it there.
So 3rd down and 10 at the 43-yard line. 35 seconds to play. John Taylor and Dorsey and Davion Burgess, but he looks over here to Dom Foster. The quick out to Dom Foster. Foster gets a couple yards up to the 40-yard line.
Taylor to Foster.
4th down and 7. It looks like Harding's going to use a timeout with 29 seconds to play. Try and get another play off here.
Well, and I can appreciate that. Coaches teach players to play up to the final whistle. Well, coaches got to coach up to the final whistle. And so I can appreciate them trying to put some more points on the board here. Like I said, you want to leave this game on a positive note.
Fourth down and 7. Quite possibly the last play of the game for the Harding offense here, unless they can pick up a few yards, grab a first down with 29 seconds to go. Harding on the short end of a 24-10 score. Taylor steps back to pass, looking deep downfield. He's got Davion Burgess. Burgess looks like he's got the feet down. And first down inside the 10-yard line. It's going to be 1st and goal for Harding with 21 seconds to play.
Yeah, nice grab by Burgess. Offensive line gave Taylor all day back there to throw. Was able to find him streaking down the sideline. Looked like they were probably in a zone, and he caught his receiver in between the corner and that safety. Was able to throw it in there perfectly down the sideline.
Burgess out of bounds at the 7-yard line, 1st and goal, and Davion has hauled down a couple nice grabs right there on the sideline. Managed to get his feet in play and get the completion out of it. So now we have 16 seconds. Clock is running. 1st and goal at the 7. Harding trying to put some points. He's looking for Dom Foster, and just a little bit outside his reach.
Taylor pass intended for Dorsey.
It'll be interesting to see how Burgess and Foster work out this year. Last year it was Ivory and Ty Artis that Taylor got real comfortable with. We'll see if he can get that same comfortability with these two receivers this year.
Burgess and Foster seem to have stepped up. They made a couple nice grabs throughout the ball game, and Amari Burgess has had a couple opportunities. Nice catch on this series of play to keep this drive alive. So you got 3 potential guys right there that can maybe haul in some passes. So if you get a guy like Elijah Taylor comfortable, he's going to cause some damage with that arm. There's a pass in the end zone. That's a touchdown, Harding.
Touchdown, Raiders.
Looks like Dom Foster once again in that corner.
Foster from 7 yards out.
Another nice pattern by Foster out there. He's got a corner on an island, basically like a basketball player. He runs a pattern, and he basically just posts him up, shields out that defender, is able to make the catch for the touchdown. I don't know if I'm optimistic, but onside kick, who knows? Maybe we'll be on ESPN Sunday morning. You never know.
Jake Taylor on to attempt the extra point, and Taylor is 3 for 3 in his kicks tonight. He's got a field goal and a couple of extra points. So
Doherty.
17.
Right. I'm saying Doherty. I'm sorry, Jake Doherty. My mistake. My apologies to the young Mr. Doherty. Jake Doherty.
If I don't correct you, his grandfather will correct me on Monday when I see him.
Jake Doherty, 3 for 3 on his kicks. A couple extra points in that field goal, so that's going to give the young freshman a little bit of confidence boost, which, again, we've said it so many times, you can't say it enough, the importance of a kicker at this high school level, so I'm going to put the ball between the uprights on a consistent basis.
Well, and that's one of the positive things to come away from this game. But at the same time, I'm not going to take anything away from that drive that we just saw there. As we talked about the idea of ending this on a positive note, and I can tell you how positive that touchdown was. I guarantee you the Benedictine coaches will scream tomorrow at Films about that touchdown, because it is important. You end on a positive note. You play until the whistle. Proud to see what Harding was able to do there.
Oh, that was a heck of a nice attempt by Jake
Doherty.
That was a great onside kick.
Well, he got the bounce that he needed. Unfortunately, couldn't get the hands team down there in time. But like what I was saying is, you always want to end on a positive note. You want to see the character of your team. You don't want to see them quit. And what you saw from that drive is that they did not quit. And like I said, the proof is in the pudding. Tomorrow, Benedictine's coaches will be screaming at them about that touchdown. They'll take the win, but they will be screaming about the fact that they allowed this Harding team to go down there in the final minutes of the game and score that touchdown. For as bad as that is for Benedictine, that's the positive note that this Harding team takes with them coming out of this game.
And one final play of the evening. Benedictine comes out. Looks like the victory formation. I'm sure that and Ronnie Schultz takes a knee. And that's going to take care of it tonight from Mollenkopf. Your final score, Cleveland Benedictine 24, your Harding Raiders 17. And on to Mooney next weekend.
Yeah, obviously this isn't the ending that we'd like to see. Raiders came up a little short tonight. A lot of things to build off, though. Some of the things that we already knew going into this season, specifically with the quarterback and the receivers, those sophomores from 2 years ago stepping up to the challenge. It's their senior year. Saw a lot of good play out of the quarterback. In all honesty, the offensive line gave Taylor the time that he needed to pass. Unfortunately, when it came down to the run game, the Raiders were not able to establish that, and therefore putting it all on the left arm of Elijah Taylor. This Benedictine team is just too good to let a one-dimensional team beat them. And so the passing game alone was not going to beat a team like Benedictine. But proud of what I saw of the Raiders tonight from that defense. You know, you take away, a couple of those big plays, as well as the interception that turned, put the ball on the 5, put them behind the 8 ball. Overall, we would have liked to get the victory, but with everything that's going on right now, with just the ability to play, the late switch of the games, I'm proud of these kids. I'm proud of the coaching staff. And once again, I want to reiterate, I'm thankful for the administration being able to put together a safe environment for fans to be able to come and watch this game. And I'm also thankful for everyone involved in WSCN for making sure that the entire city of Warren, as well as those that have left the city and went on to other places, have the ability, although not in person here in the stands, but through WSCN on the YouTube channel, to be able to watch these kids live on a Saturday night. Grateful for it. I'm excited. I'm excited for next week. Glad to be here.
So for those of you out here that tuned in to see us tonight, we certainly appreciate you viewing and hope you'll join us again next week. Tell your friends if you got somebody else that didn't get to see a game. We did have a little delay at the beginning getting the video online. We do apologize for that. We were a couple minutes into the ball game before we were able to get the live feed going. So hopefully that didn't cause too many problems out there. But we did get 99% of the game in for you. So hope you enjoyed that. Looking for bigger and better things next week. Once again, your final score from Mollenkoff, Cleveland Benedictine Bengals 24 and your Harding Raiders 17. We'll see you next week. We're home here. We'll host the Cardinal Mooney team and hopefully put that W on the board and get us back to 1-on-1. So, Eddie, always a pleasure once again. And hopefully we'll see everybody next week.
Mollenkoff Stadium, let's meet our Warren G. Harding Raider football senior class of 2021.
Vaughn Smith, 14, 6.
Damari Freeman, 10, wide receiver and safety.
Reggie Watson, 55, offensive line, defensive line.
Jabari Felton, 41, defensive line, tight end.
Antonio Burgess, 76, O-line, D-line.
Nathan McCann, 64, O-line, D-line.
Quincy Brown, 40, tight end, defensive end.
Tank Perkins, number 8, linebacker, running back.
Jalen Stringer, 24, safety.
Omarion Dukes, 27, safety.
Robert Trammell, 68, O-line, D-line.
Noah Murphy, 79, O-line, D-line.
Chester Adams, number 17, linebacker and running back.
Elijah Taylor, number 5, quarterback.
Sam Moldman, number 73, offensive and defensive line.
Gavion Burgess, number 6, corner and receiver.
Elijah Smith, number 7, running back and DN.
Marquand Brown, number 3, receiver and DB.
Amari Burgess, number 4, receiver and safety.
Thank you, seniors, for your commitment to the Warren G. Harding Raider football program, and we wish you great success in your years to come.